we welcome you once again to Denver, Colorado, Ball Arena, the place it's the Castor. Countdown to face-off as we have got the Vancouver Warriors taking on the Colorado Mammoth to open the season. And we welcome everyone inside the broadcast booth. I'm Andy Lindahl, along with my longtime partner here, Jamie Shuchuk, a former Mammoth and NLL forward. Jamie, excited to get this one going. As for Colorado, they're looking to put last season in the rearview mirror. We'll talk about that #1 overall pick they could have had a little bit later on in the program, but talk about the mix of faces they're going to use to get back on track.
Well, first and foremost, they get number 16, Ryan Lee, back in the lineup. After missing all last season with some injuries, this guy was an absolute stud during their championship run. The Mammoth fans are so happy to have this guy back in action. And the Mammoth absolutely stole Will Malcolm from the Panther City in the dispersal draft. They needed a lefty. Well, this guy's going to be a stud. He's going to fit right in with this lineup. And the backbone of this team is that man right there, Dylan Ward. We talked about the season he had last year. This guy's one of the biggest competitors I know. I know he's going to be excited, and he's going to have a different mindset leading his team.
Talking about competitors, that's what Vancouver's all about with their coach Kurt Malosky. Talk about their new faces.
Yeah, I mean, Keegan Ball is the leader on this team on the offense. He's so athletic. He's so dangerous when he has the ball in his stick. Coach Malosky's going to have the ball, and he's going to be distributing. And that man right there led the league in caused turnovers, defensive player of the year. They have such a veteran presence back there in the back end, and he's the ultimate guy.
And of course, Cormier's the rookie. They're so excited about what did coach tell you about him?
Well, the guy can score from anywhere. And that being said, I mean, just look at him. He's an absolute monster. He's a thick guy. Look for the Colorado Mammoth to try to shut him down.
And we are ready to start this game with the first face-off of the season. Again, happy Black Friday to everybody. Hopefully you did some celebrating with the shopping out at the stores. Only the second time the Mammoth franchise, they were the Washington Power last time they played on Black Friday. They're 0-1 on Black Friday. The Mammoth are looking to start their own new history here in Colorado with this one. And we've got the longest stalemate possible on the opening face-off here. Finally, it's dug out by Tim Edwards, and it's into the Vancouver end, but there's a loose ball battle trying to see who's going to come up with it. Jordan Gillis, of course, down there in the action. He had it for a second. I think Edwards also came up with it, and ultimately we're going to get one of the players knocked down for Vancouver. That was Alex Stathakis, the rookie out of DU, who was able to finally come up with the ball. He got knocked down. It's going to be Colorado possession, though. There's a quick pass and a shot, and Tyson Gibson right to it right away. So quick action after the long stalemate on the faceoff. Colorado and Vancouver know each other very well. Robert Hope with it, feeds it low, shot. Oh, hugging the pipe, great job. That time of Aiden Walsh shutting off that shot. Quick action for Colorado on the transition, and now Vancouver sloppy, trying to work it up the floor. Just onto the floor for Colorado is gonna be Tim Edwards. He gets the loose ball, and he'll have to retreat back to the bench. That's the easiest shift he'll have all year.
Yeah, a great opportunity for the Mammoth to capitalize here. A couple rough mistakes, just gets Colorado more momentum.
Great energy in the building, and Will Malcolm trying to make his presence felt right away. Running in transition, of course. He was a member of the Mammoth, drafted by the Mammoth a few years ago. And then in the expansion draft for Panther City, Malcolm went to Dallas, and now in the dispersal draft back home with the Mammoth. Worked up floor again. Brett Craig, the defenseman, goes in big time. We've got a broken stick on the floor from one of the Vancouver defenders. I think Matt Beers has already got his stick broken. Check that, that's gonna be 28, Reed Bowering that lost his stick. And either way, Vancouver back up floor. And Keegan Ball's so familiar with it.
And Aiden Walsh just bailing his team out there. 3 turnovers in a row. Now we get to see Vancouver with their first settled offense.
You can feel the excitement for both teams to get the real games going after some preseason action. Ball with the shot, swallowed up in the 5-hole by Dylan Ward. Good crowd here. Earliest start, as we said, for the Mammoth. Normally we're not used to seeing a home game till maybe late December. But the fans have shown up on Black Friday ready to watch some lacrosse. Now there's Ryan Lee. Ooh, a little high for Connor Kelly. And that'll become Vancouver ball.
Yeah, just a little bit too much juice on that pass. Ryan Lee getting one of his first shifts out there. You can tell he's excited to be back on this floor in Ball Arena.
Ryan Lee, an absolute warrior for this Mammoth team, battling through some knee injuries. At some point here, a little break in the action. You'll have to talk about what it's like when you first get back after a long layoff. That one off the pipe. That one almost had eyes and almost snuck through to get the first goal of the game. but the pipe is a goalie's best friend, and Kevin Crowley, who took that shot, will gather the ball in the corner and will reset. Crowley with a couple face dodges, now goes opposite side, hitting one of his lefties, and that will be the first goal of the game. Big shot there, and that's going to be Marcus Clarish with the goal for Vancouver.
Yeah, and a momentum killer there for the Mammoth. They seem to have all the momentum there, but you can see that shot that Kevin Crowley took off the pipe. We're able to get a reset, get settled. Nothing really special here, just a great heads-up play. Saw a little hole there on Dylan Ward and was able to tuck it in on the short side.
So Crowley will get the assist despite having the great shot that rang the far side pipe. Clarish goes to that same side to get the first goal. And Vancouver has their first goal of the season and their first 1-0 lead. Stathakis able to win the faceoff and get it out. He's a former DU Pioneer. We're very familiar with Alex Stathakis here in these parts. Now with the ball down there is going to be Ryan Martell. Again, Keegan Ball. We know him so well here from the battles in the past. He's going to work it around Vancouver. A little two-man game. A shot that's high off the boards, but it finds its way. Again, another shot by Crowley, another rebound, and another shot by Pesco. Dylan Ward turns them all away, not having to move too much to make those saves. Colorado, it feels like, needs to settle down a little bit, Jamie. Is that maybe the right read? A lot of emotion?
Yeah, I mean, first game jitters here. These guys battled 4 weekends of training camp. They got some exhibition games, but you know, it's going to take some time. We always talk about it. Game one, you got some new personnel in the mix, and it's going to take some time to get some of that chemistry, but I love the pace of this game so far.
Dylan making a save. It hops up and then squeaks out. That was a good shot taken again by Owen Grant. Colorado's going to bring it back down in transition. Got our first look at Eli McLaughlin that last time down. Thomas Vella with it. He works it around, tries to go underneath. Now he does regather the ball, takes a shot, but again, it just feels like Aiden Walsh knows what's coming before it happens.
Yeah, and good to see Thomas Vella get. He played some minutes last year. Connor Robinson, healthy scratch tonight. The Mammoth are going strong right, so they have 4 right-handers and 3 lefties. So look for Vella, Eli McLaughlin, and Will Malcolm to be on the floor a lot tonight.
Vancouver again working it around. That one snuck by Dylan Ward, but I think it rang off the crossbar, so it stays out. Keegan Ball, it can be crafty. Got to be careful. Looked like he might have thought about the dunk attempt. Now they cycle through again, does Vancouver. Finds its way to Keegan Ball yet again. Down there with Pesco. Now they throw to the middle. Unable to complete that pass to Martell, but they gather in the corner. Now Vancouver trying to work it again. There is their goal scorer. They get it over again to Pesco. Shot off one of the Mammoth defenders and into the net. I believe that went off of Warren Jeffrey. Ball with it. Ball trying to find a little bit of space. Passes it to the left side. Swallowed up again by Dylan Ward. That was an Owen Grant shot turned away by Dylan Ward. Down in transition. Now trying to hit Ryan. No, that was Tyson Gibson on the run. Again, a little bit off and some good defense mixed in by Vancouver. Stathakis quickly getting up floor. Crowley with it. Crowley nearly had the first goal, but had to settle for an assist on the first goal. Takes that shot, hops off the backboards, rebound to be had. Loose ball gathered up by Colorado. Good turn away that time. That was Owen down with it on the transition.
Yeah, a nifty little play there at center to knock it to himself. And I think a smart heads-up play to pull it out and get the offense in the mix.
Will Malcolm has it now. He's going to pass. And a big fire that time by Zed Williams. Malcolm trying to save the possession, unable to do it. Zed Williams fires the cannon, hits off the backboard over the half line, and we've come to our first break here in Colorado. But a nice first 6 minutes of action between Vancouver and Colorado. 1-0 our score. We'll return to the Loud House to see how the first quarter goes.
The National Lacrosse League is on ESPN.
What a shot by Trey LeClaire.
A fresh season with fresh faces and storylines. It's a coast-to-coast clash.
Oh, what happened there? They score. What accuracy.
Rookie sensation Brennan O'Neill and the Philadelphia Wings soar into San Diego to take on Zach Currier and the Seals.
Score!
NLL Face-Off Weekend, Sunday, December 1st on ESPN2. This isn't just a game, it's a way of life. We eat, sleep, and breathe lacrosse. It demands respect from each player. If you want it, you need to work for it. You need to earn it. Every hit, every goal, every shift, every sacrifice, earn your next moment. This is the next major league.
Vancouver's up 1-0. They're going to start off with the ball here after this TV timeout. You know, both head coaches, Kurt Milowski for Vancouver, Pat Coyle for the Colorado Mammoth, have an extensive history together, growing up together, playing together up in Canada, and then playing against each other here in the NLL. But both of them, Kurt being more offensive-minded, Pat being more defensive-minded, are very similar in the way they are teachers of the game. They have systems that they can plug and play certain players and their strengths in, but both are Hall of Fame level coaches here that are getting their teams back to that playoff push.
Thank you, John. Looking forward to have your analysis from between the benches as we have in years past. Jamie Shuchuk up here in the booth with me. Keegan Ball taking a shot, and that one's going to go off of, I believe, Dylan Ward's stick, hit the net, and so that'll still be Vancouver possession. Vancouver quickly back to it as they start to cycle around. Now that's Crowley looking to get a pick. Keegan Ball trying to set that pick. They tried to throw it low that time to Martel. Martel couldn't handle the pass. And that's Charlin Beatty's with it as he tries to go far side. Keegan Ball, check that. Martel with it, tried to do the dunk on the opposite side. Dylan Ward, though, quick to that pipe.
Johnny, we always talk about how the Mammoth defense is designed to keep everything to the outside and let Dylan Ward see their shots. It seems like that's what they're doing so far, and it's been successful for him.
You know, they're trying, but Vancouver's done a very good job putting a guy at X, right, which makes it more of a 4-on-4. And so here's a breakaway again with Owen Grant. That's a good back check there. Oh, nice shot.
That was a big shot, and Owen Grant with the hop shot and the score.
Yeah, that's a second possession there for Owen Grant. They're coming down in transition, and he does this nice little curl back right there, which gets Brett Craig right to sink back to the middle and then goes hard to the net. But both goals here for Vancouver have been to the low, first one low left on Dylan, this one to the low right. You can see that from this angle. Vancouver's really emphasized on shooting the ball underneath both of Dylan's gloves here. We'll see what adjustments he can make.
Stathakis and Edwards to the face-off circle again. It's been a good battle the first couple. They're going to call illegal procedure on Edwards.
But going back to your
possession
question
for Vancouver.
Sorry there. Going back to your question, Jamie, that is one of Colorado's keys defensively, is to funnel everything to the outside, prevent those skip passes so Dylan Ward can get out and challenge the shooters. But there again, right, ball started in behind the net before leaking out. That creates more of a 2-on-2 set, which is much harder, right, for the defense to funnel the balls down the side, funnel the lacrosse balls down the side. So it's a good adjustment that Vancouver has made so far.
Well, and there's another block shot. I think that's 3 or 4 already. It just goes to show you how well the Mammoth are keeping everything to the outside, but they're not shy of jumping in front of those shots and soaking them.
Yeah, that time that was Owen down, jumping up and, as you say, soaking the shot off his arm. Never made it to Dylan Ward. Vela moves it to low corner. Eli McLaughlin trying to get on the board. He was ridden down and will have a penalty coming. That was a horse collar if I ever saw it. So Colorado will get the first power play of their season and of this game. Obviously, when you finish in the position that the Mammoth did, and they ended up worse than the league with the first overall pick, we'll get the call here.
Vancouver penalty, 2 minutes, holding.
Jamie, what would you like to see them change? What do you hope Colorado improves on from a year ago to improve on the positioning in the league?
Well, I said at the end of last year, they set the bar high. They made it to 2 finals in a row, won one, lost one, and then you end up dead last. I'd be curious to know the stat on teams that have done that, but this team still has that core, and they're still coached by Pat Coyle. So there's a lot of faith in that locker room. It's just about execution, but this league is getting more and more challenging, and with with the loss of Panther City, even more so. You know, you got 20 guys, 20 good lacrosse players without jobs. There's some rough stuff in front of you, Johnny.
Yeah, Matt Beers just trying to eat clock on this power play. He did a good job and then didn't appreciate the extra effort from the Mammoth to get the ball out of his stick near the bench. McLaughlin and Kelly with shots on the last possession. Kelly up top there with the ball now. McLaughlin fires off that big logo there of Aiden Walsh. Now thrown over the head a little bit of Malcolm. Lady has it. Braden Lady getting it down the ball, and now we'll see if Keegan Ball eats a little more clock too. He's going to get it up top and quickly return the ball. Crowley works at far side.
Sorry, Jamie, assistant coach Jason Bishop's talking to that man up unit right now, wanting more player movement right in this next shift. Kind of stagnant offensively. Players just standing with ball movement. They're going to see more player movement through the middle. This next group coming out.
44 seconds left in that man advantage for Colorado. Tyson Gibson has it. You can hear Big Rob down there yelling, firing the crowd up. Eli McLaughlin now sets up again. He's taking a couple of shots. He and Kelly working the two-man game. Kelly tried to get the hot shot. That goes off of Aiden Walsh and into the net. So Colorado will retain possession, reset of the shot clock, and they can use this last 27 seconds of the penalty if they like. Tried to skip pass over to McLaughlin, can't do it. It may lead to a breakaway. It does for Vancouver. It's going to be one-on-one. Shot, goal! What a shot. Owen Grant, not only with the hat trick, but the natural hat trick, 3 in a row. He is the goal scorer for Vancouver, 3-0 on the shorty.
Yeah, and just an absolute killer, and Johnny, you just touched on it. Got to get more player movement before you start skipping the ball. And Owen Grant with just a great defensive play. And those goals, when you have a big defender who's not really considered a transition player, chip in, definitely gets the bench fired up, and the Vancouver Warriors have all the momentum going into this game.
I got to correct myself. Clarich with the first one, Grant with the last two. For Colorado's sake, that better not be something prophetic, though. 3-0 is a big enough hole to dig out of, and now Stathakis wins this face-off. He's just trying to kill out the penalty, which he's successfully going to do. And Vancouver's about to be even again. Out of the box comes Ryan Dilks. So Colorado trying to move up here. Robert Hope with it now, crosses the timeline. Now going to get over to Vela after a quick pass to Kelly. Kelly works in the middle, tries to get another shot off again. That one did not find the cage. Again, Walsh gathers, and on transition is Vancouver. Oh, a big hit coming that time from Kelly. Didn't make full contact, but caught enough of the stick to force a loose ball. And again, Colorado has the ball back. That's Owen Ron with it down there. Ron's going to be taking the place of Joey Capito. Not that you fully can do that on your own, but a younger set of legs in that transition defense, Jamie. Another shot coming that time from Ryan Lee. You know how badly he wants to taste his first goal as he's back off injury. Colorado able to save it, but, or maybe not. We are going to go ahead and hit our break, our second break of the period. Quite the first period and start to the seasons in Port Vancouver as they have the 3-0 lead here in Colorado on the opening night of the season. NLL Plus is here and free. The league's new streaming service offers fans around the world access to live games, full game replays, highlights, and exclusive content. Sign up today at NLL.com/plus. You get a look at some of the Mammoth fans there in the crowd, including Banana Man. Banana Man was on the Jumbotron earlier, Jamie. They compared him to a Teletubby. Banana Man, with his facial expression, let them know how he thought that was an unfair comparison. Although there are a few banana guys around here today. Vancouver working their possession again, down or up 3-0 is Vancouver. Now that one went off one of the Mammoth players, so it'll remain Vancouver ball despite crossing midfield. There's another shot and a save by Dylan Ward. He's going to get it up to Warren Jeffrey. Had a chance to talk to Warren Jeffrey this week on a podcast. Enjoy always talking with Warren. Will Malcolm with it. We talked about the differences between American and Canadian Thanksgiving. So maybe later in the game, you can add your thoughts to that, Jamie. Eli McLaughlin trying to give the Mammoth fans a goal to be thankful for. Now they work it around. Connor Kelly's going to shoot. That one went off the backboards, but hit one of his teammates. I believe that was Zed Williams trying to get out of the way. That couldn't have felt too good. But again, another shot that misses the cage, and Vancouver back with possession. So we had a juiced up crowd there. 3-0 run by Vancouver to start this game has quelled a little of the emotion in the building, but you know a goal will bring that right back. Vancouver trying to make sure that doesn't happen. Back in their offensive flow yet again. Keegan ball right in the middle. Wow, Owen Down got over there just to get a stick in the way. I don't know how Keegan got so open, and that'll be the shot clock violation there. Down picks it up.
He got open there because they're saying it's the second time I've seen them run that play where they move the ball down the low lefty, and they have an off-ball pick down low on the right-handers, and Keegan Ball was wide open there, just could not capitalize.
Will Malcolm fed Ryan Lee. Lee was in a whole bunch of traffic and tried to take a shot as he got crunched between two Warriors, and it's Vancouver ball yet again. Jamie, at some point I need to know what you're going to draw up offensively for Colorado. A little out of sorts, it feels like, at the beginning of this game. Vancouver's not had that same problem as they continue to work the possession. That one's going to go high off Dylan Ward. You heard the ooh from Jamie, and now Keegan Ball nearly comes up with the loose ball. Still being battled for down there. Marcus Clarish, who did score our first goal of the game, now battling in the corner. He gets run over, and it'll come up Colorado. Again, Warren Jeffrey going to take it over midfield there. Decides to work it down to Eli McLaughlin. Now a cut inside, trying to hit Will Malcolm, who had the speed. He was chased by Jeff Cornwall, had a bit of a step on him. McLaughlin decided to feed it to him, but could not connect. Now having trouble holding on to the ball there is Kirkness. Kirkness still trying to go get his own loose ball bobble, is unable to. Brett Craig comes up with it. And now Jordan Gillis thought about heading in, but he's going to dump it off and pass it out. That's Connor Cook with it. Connor Cook, another pickup by the Mammoth. Thomas Vela is a young man we saw get to play some wing with some of the injuries and whatnot at the end of last year. Vela in there now, Malcolm with Vela. Now they move it up top. Ryan Lee shoots it, it gets knocked down prior to finding Walsh. Now Malcolm trying to work his way out of a double team, does find a way to do so, and they find a way to get it in front, and a goal! Oh, what great passing, and Vela finishes it. Vela in front of the goal after yeoman's work behind the net to get that loose ball, Jamie.
And that's all they needed to get the fans on their feet here. What a patient play here. Good loose ball in the corner. And was just waiting for some relief. Credit to Zed Williams for going to help behind the net. And Vela, just a great off-ball cut. Knew that he was open because Malcolm was doubled in the corner. Nice little twister there to finally solve Aiden Walsh.
It's a lot of fun, and again, when you got Zed Williams with the ball, you know a lot of eyes are going to turn to him. Zed doing a great job working kind of that exposition that John Gallant talks so much about and finding his teammate in front. Stathakis down there battling the Mammoth, but Brett Craig will come up with the loose ball. Stathakis having a nice game. Rookie new face for Vancouver, the face-off man. Now they're working it around, and is the Mammoth hoping to get a second goal and go on their own little run. There's a big shot by Ryan Lee, although that's going to hit harmlessly off a Vancouver defender. Eli McLaughlin gathers the loose ball, threw it right into the stick that time to Reed Bowering. And it is going to be Vancouver ball.
Earlier. Colorado wanted a shot earlier there, so they get 2 for 1. So now Vancouver's going to have the last shot. They just told the goalie to go 6 on 5.
That was that shot by Ryan Lee, I think John's talking about, found its way over to Eli, and Eli could not shoot it again quickly, and as John pointed out, the last possession now goes, to Keegan Ball. The last possession of the first quarter goes to Vancouver. Keegan Ball with a great opportunity and a heads-up look. But that will finish the quarter with a 3-1 score. Colorado gets one. Now we have a couple of little extra conversations down there. Dylan Ward having something to say to Charlotte Beatties. I'm not quite sure what's being talked about. I know this Robert Hope doesn't like it either.
Vancouver's going to go with a power play to start the second quarter. Robert Hope, in a desperation attempt there, just cross-checked the Vancouver forward from behind, so he's going to go to the box.
All right, we'll come back, we'll sort it all out, but Vancouver will have their first power play of the year to start the second quarter, as this is the opening game of the year for both teams. We'll be back to Ball Arena with more action.
Sunday to get a taste of the American Thanksgiving weekend. Yeah, it's very different up here. We just had ours.
And we welcome you back to Ball Arena. You see a shot of Ryan Lee, one of the Mammoth offensive leaders in there. I did have a chance to catch up with Ryan earlier this week for my radio show. We talked a little Thanksgiving. He's Canadian, of course, and he explained to me it's much different in Canada than it is here in the U.S.
It's very different. I'm actually staying. We play Friday. I'm staying till Sunday to get a taste of the American Thanksgiving weekend. Yeah, it's very different up here. We just had ours a few weeks ago, and it's not the same. You guys do it on another level. The food, like in college, we used to celebrate at our house. We had a couple Americans, one American in our house, and his parents used to bring some food down, and it was like, it's nuts. It's the buffalo chicken dip and everything, the mac and cheese. It's, you guys go all out. We don't do that quite up here. We just have the one turkey dinner, and that's it.
So there it is, and I don't know if you want to add to that. I mean, have you become accustomed to American Thanksgiving there, Jamie, now that you've been here a while?
I would say I have, but I kind of agree with Leeser on that one. I kind of like the timing a little bit different. I feel like American Thanksgiving is too close to Christmas.
We like all the holidays at once there, Ryan. Because do you not celebrate Halloween, Ryan? I should say, Jamie. You got to do Halloween too. I mean, there's a whole roll. So, all right. On the power play is Vancouver, as we had the penalty to Robert Hope. So this is the first position. Charlotte Beatties throws it down. There's another shot. That's going to be turned away. The shooter is Martell again. Colorado's going to come up with that loose ball. Nice job just to get it out to Jordan Gillis. Now Jordan Gillis is going to take it over the timeline here and see what he can do as far as killing time. Works it out to Will Malcolm. Malcolm's going to hand it off to Connor Kelly. Kelly and Malcolm. I think the Mammoth are hoping that these two are going to be real cornerstones of their offense for a while. Now they're trying to go to the backdoor cut. Vancouver was smart to it the whole time. Kelly decided they'd throw it deep anyway because the shot clock was winding down. Will Malcolm was trying to sneak backside, but Vancouver with good eyes did not let it happen. Vancouver with 3 straight goals before Colorado got their first tally. That leads us to our 3-1 score. Now they're working it around again, trying to go cross crease. It is successful. Work it up. There's a shot by Crowley. And a loose ball to be had. Not gathered in by the Mammoth. Not quite sure where they lost the ball there, but they did, and turns into another Vancouver possession on this power play. Keegan ball down low to Crowley. Now they're going to work it in. There's a big save. Actually, Crowley was up top, and that was Pesco down low. On the run, though, is Jordan Gillis. Now he's looking, decide he's going to take his first shot of the year. Didn't know if he was going to make that pass. He decided to shoot, obviously. Now just a couple of guys battling the Vancouver players. Killing time, if nothing else. The penalty is 9 seconds left for Robert Hope. Now we're going to have a push down, and Colorado's going to be able to possess the ball as the penalty time counts down.
Yeah, good pressure by Colorado there to create the turnover. Back in the crease was the call. There's only 7 seconds left in their penalty, so they'll just hold this so they can get their man back on the floor.
Robert Hope will come, or excuse me, that's Owen Down. That's going to come out of the box and go flying across the floor so that the Mammoth can have their usual array of players out there, shooters out there. Although they went a little bit early. Now, Colorado's still trying to find something. Tyson Gibson battling for that loose ball. Now joined by Connor Kelly, or excuse me, Zed Williams. It's actually going to come up Vancouver. Salati with it, actually now going to get it to Subak. Vancouver's going to go back into another offensive possession. Check in with John, take a temperature check down here in a second. We have a break in the action. Right now, though, Keegan Ball working it around. There's Martell with it. He's going to work in, trying to get his second goal on the night. Big save, but also a big rebound to Dylan Ward. So, John, tell me what it's like. The first quarter's down there, first quarter of your season. You feel the adjustments happening? What's the temperature check down there like after the first quarter?
Yeah, you can. You know, the game started off so frantic there with a lot of nerves, you know, on both sides there a little bit. Now they've kind of settled in here a little bit. You can see, you know, in this particular quarter, right, Colorado can't push up the field and press, right? They got to get back with that long bench, so that's allowing Vancouver to freely out of their own end a little bit. But yeah, both teams, right, kind of settling in that first, between the first and second quarter. Both head coaches spoke with the entire team. There's a nice little jump shot there on the far side, but both coaches kind of spoke with both teams. You know, the big thing, and it just happened there, that head coach Kirk Milowski addressed were turnovers in the clear. You know, Vancouver's had a tremendous amount of those. You saw one in there again. Can't give this Colorado offense extra possessions.
Connor Cook lucky to snag that one, though, out of the rafters. That was about to head for the crowd. He saved it, and Colorado has their possession, 12 on the shot clock. Connor Kelly trying to go to work. Colorado, there's a shot from Will Malcolm. But again, it feels like Aiden Walsh is seeing everything and not a lot of screens in front. Now on the break comes Vancouver, big shot. That one taken that time by Owen Grant again. He is looking for that hat trick. He had the last 2 goals. Again, Jamie, I'll just ask you, anything you're picking up on as far as offensively?
Well, I think both teams are struggling getting to the inside because there's a great shot, again, from the outside by Charlene Beatties, but both teams are so physical on defense, and they're a cross-check first team, so there's a nice turnover, great pressure by Owen Down, but to answer your question, Andy, yeah, both teams just need to get to the inside and out a lot more here.
Robert Hope showing off the cradling skills. A little whirling dervish there to get free. As Owen Down had knocked down Keegan Ball, that's what led to the loose ball situation for Colorado to win this possession. 13 seconds. See, again, Jamie, it feels like they're getting halfway through the shot clock before they even set up for something.
Well, Will Malcolm was calling out that he had an offensive player and Charlene Beatties covering him, but Charlene Beatties, smart play there, just lock him off and disrupt whatever plan that the Mammoth potentially had there.
Stathakis goes and hands it off as he's gotten a loose ball. It's Martell with it. Martell trying to work around and play a double game. Well, actually, that was with Clarish. Ball passes up top. There's another shot turned away. That was Pesco. A lot of shots coming, but I'm not sure what. Is the placement dialed in this early in the season, would you say, Jamie? Well, you know what, we'll take our timeout. We'll come back. I want you to talk about how you get your shooting dialed in. I know they've played some preseason action so far, but there's nothing like the regular season games. He's Jamie Shuchuk, John Glenn. I'm Andy Lindahl. We're going to come back, give you more action from Ball Arena between Colorado and Vancouver.
The National Lacrosse League is on ESPN.
What a shot by Trey Leclerc.
A fresh season with fresh faces and storylines. It's a coast-to-coast clash.
Oh, what happened there? They score. What accuracy.
Rookie sensation Brennan O'Neill and the Philadelphia Wings soar into San Diego to take on Zach Currier and the Seals.
Score!
NLL Face-Off Weekend, Sunday, December 1st on ESPN2. This isn't just a game, it's a way of life. We eat, sleep, and breathe lacrosse. It demands respect from each player. If you want it, you need to work for it. You need to earn it. Every hit, every goal, every shift, every sacrifice, earn your next moment. This is the next major league.
The NLL is now on the ESPN app. Download the app or visit ESPN.com for the latest news, schedule, and scores. And if you go on the app, you're able to find the NLL section there. It's real easy, frankly, easier than ever to access your NLL news on ESPN, which is great here in the States. Jamie Shuchuk, John Gallant both played for the Colorado Mammoth franchise. They join me. I'm Andy Lindahl here on the broadcast. Pleased to have everybody along on this Black Friday. Again, the earliest, the Colorado Mammoth had never played on a Black Friday. And John Gallant let us know that the Washington Power lost on their Black Friday game. What was the earliest game you remember playing in, Jamie?
I mean, I don't think we played until January when I was playing, but you know, Johnny's been around a lot longer than me. He's got a good memory, so hats off to him for bringing up the Washington Power franchise.
Do you remember anything about that game, John Gallant?
I
Ball
do.
gets it stripped. Good thing Dylan was on that. Go ahead, John.
It was in Buffalo. We wore field helmets inside, and you know, it was you know, Casey, you know, Ryan Powell there made a play diving across to intercept the pass, got himself up, ran down the floor, scored. And you know, it was a moment as a rookie where, yeah, these guys are a little bit better at this level when I saw that play.
Jeff Cornwall
Jamie,
with the bent stick is now just playing body defense. Go ahead, Jamie.
Sorry, you talk about them. Sorry, you talk about settled in. You know, the one thing that it started becoming my kind of game here with the trash talking going back and forth. It all started at the end of that first quarter, that penalty. After that penalty, that hit from behind by Down, the level of communication between these benches, that has definitely picked up, you know, in the last 10 minutes.
Tim Edwards taking a big shot, then taking a big hit. That goes wildly off the wall. There's a moose ball race. I don't think that Stathakis quite knew what he was supposed to do there, because he knew Dylan Ward could come out and get the ball, but then he saw the Mammoth player in pursuit, so he gave it a little extra run. Either way, it is going to be possession, obviously, to Vancouver. Now working around, there's another shot turned away. Martel hits off the big shoulder pad of Dylan Ward, and the Mammoth come up floor. They're going to find Hope. Jalen Chastity is out there as well. Hope is going to settle down and let the offensive formation, offensive personnel come on. That's Will Malcolm, new to the Mammoth. First game in the Loud House this year for him, obviously, as a home player. He did play one earlier in his rookie year. Not a lot of action, but I know Colorado was disappointed to see him go and very excited to get him back. Let's talk a little bit about that there again, though, Jamie. How long did it take guys to dial in shots early in the year?
Well, as an offensive player, you want to get comfortable, you want to gain that confidence, and all it takes is one to get that going. So, especially when you're at home here for the Mammoth, and you know, for Vancouver, they have so many guys that can put the ball in the net here. And they've had two out of the 3 goals have come from a defensive player. And there's a good look, finally, Vancouver getting inside. We talked about it earlier. That's what both these teams need to do, is get these defenses uncomfortable. And, you know, for a guy like Ryan Lee, here he is with the ball. We'd love to see him get his first goal back in a Mammoth uniform.
You know he wants it bad too. They're trying to feed to the middle, unable to connect with Vela, who does have the Mammoth's lone tally here thus far. 6:53 left to go in this first half. Colorado and Vancouver, a lot of scoring in the first, not any scoring here in the second quarter so far.
Got numbers here, got a 4-on-3.
John, they like to say that it feels like in any sport, they always say the defense is ahead of the offense in the beginning. Do you feel that's true for this league?
You know, I do, you know, because I think it's a little bit more, you know, Jamie mentioned it earlier, you know, Vancouver plays what they call a two-hand tough defense, a cross-checking defense. And I think it's a little bit easier to get some rhythm defensively than it is, you know, offensively here. And you're starting to see that a little bit, but you're seeing good goaltending as well with the approach angles that these guys are taking on all the shots.
Charlene Beatty's hands it off for the shot from Peyton Cormier. We talked about him, the exciting rookie, but turned away again by Dylan Ward. Now they work it up floor. It'll be hope to Edwards. It's a nice backside play to Tyson Gibson that last time down for Colorado. Nice stick work that time by Will Malcolm, but again, unable to solve Walsh. Now, Vela comes up with the loose ball after an aggressive check against Mitski.
It's an 8-second violation. Great job by Vela. He's been just a little water bug buzzing around there and forces another turnover.
Well, we just got to look at it. Vela was talking and he took a little shot from Mitski. Had a little something to say. Here's Zed Williams. Zed working it around. Now Vela with it. At least he's going to have to go and retrieve it. Mitski's not fired up about a last possession win. He's playing physical down there. Knocked down Will Malcolm. There's a shot from Lee as the shot clock's running down. And again, Colorado, I just got to say, it just feels like they're a little out of sorts right now. We'll come back and continue to give you some more action of this opening night game between the Colorado Mammoth and the Vancouver Warriors. 3-1, the advantage to Vancouver. We'll come back to Ball Arena after this on Black Friday. And we welcome you back inside Ball Arena. We mentioned this earlier, but here's just the graphic form of how it looked last year. Of course, 2 years ago, Colorado beat the Buffalo Bandits to become NLL champions. Then, in 2023, they lose to the Bandits in what was an exciting series and unable to repeat. Then last year, just a very strange year for Colorado, Jamie. There were injuries. Things seemed a little bit out of sorts. Just nothing ever felt right. There was no Ryan Lee the whole year, and it led to Colorado having the worst record in the NLL and would have had that #1 pick. We'll talk more about that later, but that was part of the trade that helped them get Tyson Gibson, a key piece to their championship run 2 years ago. So for Colorado, a couple things. You know, you've talked to Pat Coyle. You know the guys on the team. What's the focus to change this thing around?
Well, and Pat Coyle's the key here. When he came in, you know, it took him a few years to build the culture, and that culture still exists. Despite their record, despite their success, it's still around. And they still have that core group of guys, and here's a great shot by Adam Charlambides. Looked like potentially a set play that came out of the TV timeout there. Charlambides has ended up wide open in the middle of the floor as we check the replay here. Again, just those off-ball picks are what's causing the confusion on the Colorado Mammoth defense, and that's just way too much time and room for Charlene Beatties.
Nice ticketed shot for that lower corner as he puts it in, and Vancouver restores their 3-goal lead with 4-1 the count. John, you also have worked your way around talking to the guys on the bench, talking to Coach Pat Coyle. I know you've been through some of the seasons. 2010, Jamie reminded me, that have been rough. What do you do to try to turn things around after a rough season? What's the key in the early going especially?
Well, I think it's, you know, you got to look at it. It's a fresh start, and it is a new season. And what you would like, especially early, is some success. You know, and I think you saw that early in this game, right? The number of possessions Colorado had early with their pressure, right? They haven't been able to kind of build upon that. And so now it's the leadership in the team, you know, with Robert Hope, starting with Robert Hope, you know, just to keep guys on track, right? And not panic. But you got
that
a
is
guy,
unbelievable, the chances they're getting. Jonathan Pesco was wide open and hit the pipe.
Wide open.
You got
He
that
looked like
guy
he was late for the
back
school
there.
bus. He was so alone.
And that's what you got to build on, is that guy 45, right? That he's back there and can make saves and stops like that. Now you need some of these offensive possessions to put the ball back in the net.
So Colorado, the pipes helping out Dylan Ward, who's also looking big in net. There's the dunk attempt, and it's home. No, they're going to call it in the crease. Oh, Eli McLaughlin tried to sneak the backside. Very creative shot, but they're saying he was in the crease. We're getting a look in house. I don't know. Would you challenge that? Oh, we'll have to come back and look. Meanwhile, in live action on the floor, Vancouver, Keegan Ball with it. He's trying to put it in before anything can be done. He fought through half the Mammoth team, and it does not look like Pat Coyle's going to choose to throw the red flag. Get a look at this.
Yeah, I don't. That's a
that
close
is
one.
so close.
That could have went either way if there was a challenge. We'll see him across the goal line before, and I think that's what the officials
feet, I don't
saw.
think, were the problem, frankly,
Right.
Jamie. It's about where he lands.
It was after the fact there, where it didn't go clean in, and we're gonna get a
penalty.
Vancouver
Vancouver
Warriors.
penalty number 21, 2 minutes, holding the stick.
Yeah, an offensive zone penalty. Coaches do not like these calls.
So
But
Crowley to the
nonetheless,
box.
Crowley's not getting away with the hold there, and that's something the league is focusing on, is the clutching and grabbing. We saw the play earlier in the first quarter where Eli McLaughlin went hard to the net, and Dilks hauled him down, and the officials were all over that one. So, again, the Mammoth with an opportunity on the power play. Like to see him get that ball moving, people moving like we talked about earlier.
There's a shot from Connor Kelly, but knocked down. Great job of getting the stick in the way that time. That's Ryan Dilks doing it. No shock there. Colorado already 0 for 1 on their first power play. Connor Kelly with another shot. And then there is a loose ball to be battled for, and just digging it out and really putting in a great effort is Vancouver on the run there. There's another shot and a goal. No, they're waving it off. I thought Grant had his hat trick, but they're waving it off. Now the refs are getting together and talking about it. We'll see what the officials decide. They're calling it a goal. So Grant does have
So I think they're
the
gonna,
hat trick.
Yeah, and they're going to review this. I think, yeah, he wasn't even near the crease there, so good communication by the officials, and this one will get automatically reviewed.
Well, the review is going to be that that's a good goal. That's what's going to happen.
Due to conflicting calls on the floor, the lead official has no goal. The single side official has a good goal. By rule, we go to automatic review.
And that's good to see for the officials being able to communicate and get the correct call from our eyes. That's definitely going to count. And this all started in the back end when the ball was loose and the Mammoth player was going to pick it up, and Owen Grant just gave him a hard cross check right to the chest, and that opened up that opportunity to pick the ball up in transition. And this kid's on a mission tonight. Off the pipe, off the back leg of Dylan Ward. You can clearly see Owen Grant was nowhere near the crease there. But that's the play I was talking about right before. He gave a hard cross check to the chest of Tyson Gibson, and that freed him up to be able to pick it up and run down the floor.
Yeah, Tim Edwards' shoes are the only ones that end up in the crease. Maybe that's what confused the official.
He let the crowd know there how many goals he had. Counting on his fingers, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, well, and I believe we're going to have a 5-1 goal, and that'll be the second shorthanded goal for Colorado, given up by Colorado tonight on that power play. So Colorado not really getting much going offensively, and the transition now getting interesting as you get another look. So we're waiting for the decision. It looks like they're going to come out and make the decision now. They're out of the booth.
After review, the ball fully crosses the goal line. We have a good goal.
There it is. What we expected.
Yeah, there's that hard cross check. Gibson up in the air. Smart defensive play, especially when you're shorthanded at the top there. You want to keep that ball on the ground. And Owen Grant with the wheels up the floor makes it 5-1, and it is definitely quiet here in Ball Arena. The Mammoth need to get something going.
Well, folks like offense, and right now their offense just is looking a little disjointed to start the year. They're getting some looks, but again, not quite that. When we've seen this offense work the way that Coach Bishop likes it to work, ball moves back and forth. They get those nice backside shots. Not a lot of that happening right now. Krowokin with the loose ball now loses it. He's tried to pass it out. Finally, he'll get it out in the way of Will Malcolm, who's going to have to work to get the ball up, and now it's stuck, it looks like. I think we've got, yeah, they're waving it off because the ball, I think, is stuck.
And that's a nice break by the Mammoth because they're about to be called with an 8-second violation. But it looked like some...
They're going to reface it off.
Yeah, they'll have to face it off again, but he got stuck in the turf monster. Now this face-off's going to come in the Mammoth zone.
We don't see these too often. There's a face-off that's not at the center dot. But again, great job by the officiating crew, recognizing that and making the communications.
So there's the face-off now. The official was able to dig it out of the carpet in the board over there, but Will Malcolm wasn't able to, and now we've got another one of these long standoffs, and Edwards will win it back to Dylan Ward. Dylan lets it go through. Now he'll go and retreat it, although two Mammoth players in the same area, so they're going to pick up, it'll be Brett Craig that gets the pass. In Colorado, with 2:11 left to go, I don't know that, you need to get even or even make a run. Right now, I just think they need a good offensive possession at this point. Working around, Connor Kelly goes low, Zed Williams with it. He looks backside and finally takes the shot. Will Malcolm tries to retrieve that, at least slows it down so Connor Kelly can get it up top. Malcolm to Kelly, and that'll be the end of the shot clock. Zed Williams is demanding that what happened to the shot clock reset? They did not award one. I think all the Mammoth players thought that there should have been one, and thus kind of not realizing that their possession time was running down.
Yeah, and it was hard to tell up here if it did touch Aiden Walsh, but it was a shot that Zed Williams had coming around the pick, and the Mammoth went strong left there and put Eli McLaughlin in the middle to cause some havoc, and a good shot by Zed Williams, but they did not get the reset.
And it's been so dominant by Vancouver, I forgot Colorado was on the power play, so Crowley comes out. And Vancouver's back to full strength. They don't need to be full strength. They already have a goal. Now we've got a holding coming up. And the Mammoth are going to be down a man now. And that's going to be Krowokin that has to go to the box for Colorado. And there's another hold call. Again, as you talked about it, the league's going to focus on these holding calls and the holding the stick and grabbing the jersey. And
Colorado penalty, 2 minutes holding.
Impeding the progress.
And that's what Keegan Ball does with his speed and his quick footwork. The Mammoth had no choice there to do whatever they could to haul him down. And you can see Krowokin did take one hand off his stick, and I believe that's why.
Yeah, he got a good tug on the jersey.
Yep.
So Crowley trying to battle for the loose ball. Owen down, though, doing some great work, and it's going to come up Colorado. Chester retrieved it. He fed it up to Hope. Now Hope's going to wait for everybody to clear, and they're just going to eat some of this penalty time. Matter of fact, Colorado's hoping that this penalty extends over into the third quarter. There's a minute 26 left to go in the penalty and 38 seconds left to go here in this first half. Connor Kelly run around. He ended up getting Zed inside. Zed got a great look, but was unable to twist that one in. Aiden Walsh is having a phenomenal first half, and Vancouver's going to take a timeout.
Yeah, and Zed Williams, so dangerous, shorthanded. He's the type of guy that can take on a double team. But what he likes to do off ball is post up in the middle, give a little push off, and there he ended up open. And Aiden Walsh again up to the task and making the save.
So we'll take another look at this, as this was a great opportunity shorthanded for Colorado. Zed just fired it around, but again, that one went off the big logo. I think Zed was hoping to get that through the wickets, as you see. The great look there actually shows it was more in the hip area. Just unable to find the 5-hole, and square to the shooter was Aiden Walsh.
Well, he needed to get the shot off quickly. And Aiden Walsh, a huge part of that run for the Vancouver Warriors, the last 8 games of the season. And you can see those numbers there. You know, talking to Dylan Ward and some goalies in the league, you know, what they shoot for save percentage is anything over 800 is pretty solid. So Aiden Walsh heading in the right direction, and he's carried that momentum from last season into this game.
So Vancouver will have another power play possession here. Kerwoken is in the box for Colorado for holding, something that, again, the league is focusing on as they try to get a little more room for these players to run around. The guys that I've talked to, when I was able to talk to both Ryan Lee and Warren Jeffrey, they were telling me they do think this will really show up in transition, but we've seen a couple called here on the defensive end tonight, Jamie. We'll have to get John Gallant's opinion on that, but right now let's get the last 25 seconds here of this power play. Sherman Beatties, who had the last goal, he's the last goal scorer. He's trying to look up and get a feel for the clock before they initiate this final possession. Again, it's down to 13 seconds, and if the Mammoth don't allow any scoring, there'll be just about 40 seconds of penalty time left in the third quarter. There's a nice move by Ball, and he scores! The penalty will not carry over. With 3 seconds left, Keegan Ball goes to work and gets his first of the evening.
Well, and credit to the coaching staff of Vancouver Warriors calling that timeout. And the players had so much patience there. And ultimately, it was Keegan Ball with the big wind-up and fake. And he just tucked it, kept his head and his stick up. And he was able to put that short side on Dylan Ward.
Owen Down jumped up and tried to block the shot. Do you think that had any effect on Ward's vision?
Yeah, I think it probably froze him a little bit, because everybody in the building thought that Keegan Ball was just going to shoot that. But again, just, you know, the savviness of a player like that to know that he still has time and still scores with 3 seconds left.
So that faceoff will be won to Vancouver. They have a 5-goal lead. Nice first half of action if you're a Vancouver Warrior fan. The Mammoth have some things to talk about here at the halftime break. And we have quite a few things to bring you coming up here in the halftime. We're going to talk about that #1 pick in the draft that went to Philadelphia. Going to break down Brennan O'Neill for you, as a lot of people are excited to wait and see what he can do with his career. We'll break down how tough it can be sometimes. Our John Gallant, though, is going to get us a nice halftime interview here. We'll talk to one of the Vancouver players prior to them heading in for the full break. I believe John is ready. We'll send it down to John.
Thanks, guys. Got to let Owen catch his breath here a little bit. 3 goals in the first half. You know, when's head coach Kurt Malowski going to run you out the front door?
We both know I don't belong out that front door, but I'm going to keep running until they slide to me. Just getting chances right now. Going to keep bearing.
You know, you had multiple breakaways there, you know, in that first half. What's your mindset when you're running down the floor there going against Dylan Ward?
I'm looking at the front gate, seeing if I get one of the better goal scorers coming with me. And if not, I'm pulling it. Pretty simple.
You know, only giving up 1 goal here in the first half. What made your defense so successful?
I think they're at 16 shots on goal right now, which is pretty good for a first half. That was definitely a big focus. We wanted to come out hot and be physical, and that's what we've done so far, but we got to keep it going.
Any adjustments in the second half for you guys?
Just got to keep doing what we're doing.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
Guys.
Thank you to John Gallant and Owen Grant, as we have a 6-1 score, 5-goal lead for the Vancouver Warriors. A lot ahead to tell you about on halftime, as it is the opening night in the NLL. We're coming back with plenty to show you here from Denver. And we welcome you back to Denver, Colorado. Halftime here at Ball Arena between Vancouver. And we welcome you back to Denver, Colorado. Halftime here at Ball Arena between Vancouver and Colorado. And we welcome you to another season of the NLL as we got it going here on this beautiful, kind of chilly Denver night. Back inside the broadcast booth, I'm Andy Lindahl along with my partner Jamie Shuchuk. Our sideline person, John Gallant, has made his way up. He's the coach of the DU Pioneers, so he's in shape to get up here in enough time. And we wanted to talk about an interesting transaction that took place to get one of the hotshot young players to Philadelphia here. And that is, of course, the trade. Now, this first pick that originally was Colorado's, has gone on quite the road trip. First, it started with Colorado, but they sent it back in March of 2022 to get Tyson Gibson to the New York Riptide. The New York Riptide got a couple of players as well. But what was key then, in March of 2024, New York, now Ottawa, received Tiger Clark in a 2025 second-round pick from Philadelphia and gave Philadelphia the first-round pick. And because of the Mammoth struggles a year ago, nobody knew at the time, but that ended up being the first overall pick in the last NLL draft. And that, of course, became the player, Brennan O'Neill, who a lot of fans are very, very excited about, the youngster out of Duke. He was a midfielder in the field game. He'll be a forward here. Jamie, let's talk about this. You and I have seen a lot of players come through in the field game that, frankly, I thought were going to be quite successful in the NLL. It doesn't always work out that way. Why is that?
Yeah, I think it's interesting. You can go over the years. There's been some phenomenal American-born players that have really excelled in the NLL game. But, I think we're just seeing more and more. The NCAA has changed a lot over the years of the shot clock. These guys are physical, so skilled. It's all the mental part of the game and how much buy-in do they have, because when you're playing in both leagues, indoor and outdoor, that's a full year of playing lacrosse. So, I think just the right coaching and give these guys the opportunity. And I think it's great to see guys like Brennan O'Neill be able to step up and be a role model for young U.S.-born players that want to play the indoor game.
Well, and it is a very physical game. But, our John Gallant, as we said, coaches at DU, you guys got to look at young Brennan O'Neill when he was a member of the Blue Devils. What is it about Brennan that could make him different, make him the exception to the rule for American players making it in this league?
Well, as you said, a great look at him for 4 years, beating us, each time. I think one thing that's unique about Brennan is, his physical size. He's a player that can create his own shot. If need be, he can feed as well. You saw that in the World Championships last summer in San Diego. He was the most dominant player there. But what you see that's a little bit unique from his point of view as a U.S.-born player is that size and physicality, and he can take the ball to the net. And I think that's something that in either league, both indoor and outdoor, that can make him be successful.
Do guys welcome the American players to the league equally? I know, again, it's more, honestly, folks, the indoor game is a Canadian sport. We don't play it as much here in the States as you do in Canada. Although we're starting to get more and more of a box league, a feeder league built here in the States. But what is it like? Do you have to prove yourself as an American player for guys that have played this version of lacrosse their whole lives?
Yeah, absolutely. And I can attest to that, playing Junior A in Burnaby, outside Vancouver. We had a couple American players come in, and they struggled at first, and there's no doubt. But the lifestyle and, the team just bringing them in and accepting them and give them the opportunity, and it's all up to the veteran players to teach them how to play the game correctly, because it is a lot different with schemes and the speed of the game, and also the limited amount of space compared to the outdoor game.
And you can see how unique Brennan O'Neill is, just a second-born American-born player that actually was drafted #1 overall in both the outdoor and indoor league. John, talk about the shooting. There's got to be a lot. One of the things I try to tell people about the differences between the indoor and outdoor game, the accuracy in this league that you shoot with and the way you defend that is much different than outdoors, is it not?
It is, but I think, you know, from Ren O'Neill, you know, or the American players that have played here for the Colorado Mammoth, you know, those players that are able to use deception and understand stick placement are really successful. You know, there's a term that, you know, many Canadians learn really young in the box game, is that your stick head has eyes, and your stick head sees things that your physical eyes don't see. And I think from my experience with American players, you know, when they come in and they can help you win games, you know, that's as a professional player, that's all you care about, right? Can they contribute, you know, to the culture of the team, and can they help you win games? And I think Brendan O'Neill, with his skill set, and as I mentioned earlier, his physical size, which is unique for any type of player, both Canadian or American, will help him become successful in this league.
Well, we're all excited to watch him. There's a connection here in Denver as he plays for the Outlaws of the PLL. We're going to come back, get back to our indoor lacrosse game, our box game between the Mammoth and the Warriors next. And we welcome you back to Ball Arena, where Vancouver leads 6-1 here at the half over the Colorado Mammoth. Join in on the fun with the NLL's all-new fantasy game platform, NLL Pick'em, with access to weekly and monthly prizes. Play today at NLL.com. Well, it's been quite the fantasy start, I guess you'd say, for Vancouver. They came out and really had a great first half, doing most of the scoring, and they got it going very early. There's Clarish, and then it was the Owen Down show.
Yeah, Owen Grant's been an absolute beast in the back end, getting in front of shots, but pushing the floor. And you heard him in his interview with John Gallant. He's looking for those offensive players to come on the floor But the smart lacrosse player, if that's not there, you take it. And he's definitely taken advantage. And Dylan Ward has been solid, but when you get breakaway after breakaway, it's tough. And then we had Charlene Beatties get in the mix here off a great set play. We just ended up wide open off ball, and he's got an absolute rocket from the outside. And great play. There it is, a defensive play by Owen Grant for the second shorthanded goal for the Vancouver Warriors, which is going to be definitely something the Mammoth talk about at halftime. And then we go late, went 6-on-5, and Keegan Ball doing what he does best. Great set play there, fakes that shot, tucks it under, eyes up, stick up.
Now, a young player did get involved for Colorado, someone I know who you liked last year in Thomas Vela. Aiden Walsh, though, as we look at him, he's been another reason why Colorado's been frustrated tonight.
Yeah, and right from the get-go, there were 3 turnovers in a row in the first quarter, and Aiden Walsh, ended up bailing out his team, and then there's the only lone goal by Thomas Vela. And that's something the Mammoth just need to do, is get in the inside.
Yeah, they did a great job of getting it behind the net and then making Walsh have to turn around and find a shooter, and Vela with the perfect shot. You see the numbers, and frankly, you look at the shots on goal, the face-offs are close, loose balls kind of close, but turnovers alone will tell you why Vancouver's got the 5-goal lead.
Well, and that's the shot total stands out to me, and that's just 15 shots on goal is just not good enough for a lacrosse game for first half. And look at the turnovers, 33 to 18. And I'm pretty sure if their Mammoth didn't have that many turnovers, they'd have a lot more shots on goal.
Well, and they've been losing possessions, and also things just feel a little bit out of sorts offensively. It is the half here in Colorado, and we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. And when we come back, we'll get you that second half. And you see some of the youngsters that are here enjoying lacrosse on lacrosse night. Come back to Ball Arena after this.
Do I have to say the score? Do I? Okay. And welcome back to Ball Arena. Vancouver Warriors are leading the Colorado Mammoth 6-1 here as we begin the second half. I was able to speak with offensive coordinator Jason Bishop as Colorado came out. He was, he wasn't totally, upset with the first half, but he was positive. But what he did say was, Colorado was one and done. They were playing a little too fast, so he wants to see them have a little bit more patience here offensively as they start this second half. A little bit more ball movement, player movement through the middle. But instead of going for that first shot that they get, let's see if they can wear down this Vancouver defense a little bit and get a better shot later in the shot clock. Guys.
Thank you, John. And yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I don't know how else to put it. I bet a few people text me. It just feels like the Colorado offense is a little bit off right now. So let's see, first half of the year, maybe they can get something going in the second half. As for Vancouver, Jamie, I think they've got to be, as we talked about in the highlight wrap-up, they've got to be happy with how that first half went.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a tale of two tapes for both these teams here, but again, the veteran presence in that Colorado Mammoth locker room, you know they're going to make adjustments. They're a relentless team. But the way Vancouver is playing with the confidence and the poise that they have right now, they're up for a tough task being down by 5.
Alex Stathakis battling it out with Edwards again. They get the ball out. Vancouver's going to come up with that loose ball. Vancouver had a last-second goal. 3 seconds left to go, and Keegan Ball got his first of the year to give him that 6th goal of the game. So that killed the power play time. We thought Vancouver might carry some of that over, but not to be thanks to the goal. And now Colorado's got work to do. Colorado, this looks a little like it did last year, quite honestly. The good news was a lot of times they would make a run. We'll see if they have one in there tonight. Ryan Lee, back from the knee injury, trying to work around with his Mammoth teammates. Eli McLaughlin getting a shot off. That one's turned away. That'll get a shot clock reset. Another possession for Colorado. Ryan Lee working around, trying to get clear. That's where we used to see him so much shoot in the past. That one got knocked down, and Vancouver will take possession. Up to Beers. Beers holds and waits for his offensive teammate, hands it off to Ball, and he'll go to the bench. Keegan Ball, most recent goal scorer in this game. Letting his guys set up. Now he goes to work, spin move, shot, saved by Dylan Ward. Back to Ball. Ball looks low. They'll pull it out and they'll take more of that shot clock. Vancouver does not have to work fast if they don't want to with that 5-goal lead. There's a shot, another big save by Dylan Ward. Charlene Beatty's doing battle with Kurokin, I think, down there. It's gonna come up Colorado. Robert Hope with it. The familiar gait of the longtime veteran, Robert Hope. Colorado moving fast again. There's Thomas Vela. He has the only goal on the Mammoth season so far. Gets it off to Will Malcolm. Will Malcolm's had a few chances. He tried to work with Vela, and there's one where maybe in a couple of weeks it'll be better. There's a dunk attempt. Is it in?
Well, the ball's in.
Got a cross check.
The ball's in the net, but I think Ryan Lee landed in the crease. Be interesting to see. I didn't see a goal signal from either official.
I didn't either. I did see the call for the cross check, though.
Yeah, it looks like they're just going to call the cross check. And
Owen Grant, he of the hat trick.
Vancouver penalty, 2 minutes, checking from behind.
So there it is. So Grant goes to the box. And Colorado will have another power play. Now, normally that's good news. The problem is tonight, Colorado's given up 2 short-handed goals on the power play. So you can't let that happen again. Although the goal scorer has been Owen Grant, he's the one in the box. Maybe that'll help.
Yeah, well, Vancouver's doing a good job. You can see Ryan Dilks there shutting that pass down from the lefty back to the top.
Oh, there's another shot, goes off the pipe. Connor Kelly had it dialed in, but it caught the outside instead of the inside of the pipe. Now he gets over to Malcolm. Malcolm to McLaughlin, back to Kelly. He scores! Colorado off the schneid as far as the power play goes and gets their second tally of the evening.
Connor Kelly was definitely a bright spot in this Mammoth offense last season. He loves to shoot the ball. He loves to go to the net. And a beneficiary of great ball movement. As we see, it goes from Malcolm over to McLaughlin, and then a skip pass. It's very difficult for a goaltender to adjust right away, and great job by Connor Kelly with the high-to-high shot. You can see it wasn't 100 miles an hour, but just a well-placed shot there that finally fooled Aiden Walsh, and that's the goal that the Mammoth need to get this second quarter going and give them some life.
Okay, something key for us to watch because it's a very famous name. With 2 assists, Eli McLaughlin's going to pass John Grant Jr. on the all-time assist list. That's 1 on the second assist tonight. It was McLaughlin and Malcolm, I believe, on those assists. So I believe we're about an assist away from Eli McLaughlin passing one of the truly great players in franchise history in assist total. So that's quite the tall mountain to climb. He's on track to pass Gary Gate next, and with his average in assists, could do it this year. There's a shot turned away. Big shoulder down by Dylan Ward. He's already made some big saves already to start this second half. Colorado setting it up. Will Malcolm has it again. Will Malcolm has been active but unable to find the net, but he has had a lot of good passes again, assisted on that last goal. They go to a little corner, now trying to hit the streaking Ryan Lee on the backside. He gets out, Zed Williams gets the ball, no shot clock reset. Zed tries to dunk it, and it's gonna be a goal! I didn't think he got it in! I thought Walsh had shut off the crossbar, but apparently not. And Zed Williams muscles his way to his first of the season.
And all that is just will your way to the net late in the shot clock. Acrobatic move by Zed Williams to reach with his left hand, and it looked like Aiden Walsh was not quite, he had his elbows on the post, but it's a little hole there between his back and the crossbar, and great job by Zed Williams. Again, that's what the Mammoth need. We didn't really see that a lot in the first half. You got to will your way to the net, and Zed is certainly that guy that can get that done.
There's a face-off win by Edwards. Chaster gets it. He tried to throw it to Warren, but Warren Jeffrey, it'll end up going to Dylan Ward. And the Mammoth trying to get one of these runs. Again, it's amazing how much this game feels like one of the games the Mammoth would play last year, where they would just have nothing going in the first half. They make some adjustments, and they come out, especially third quarter, make a little run. They're doing that again. And we now have a 6-3 ball game. Will Malcolm, again, trying to get shifty. There's another shot. That one got a little of the juice taken off of it by one of the Vancouver sticks as it made its way to Walsh. Connor Kelly looking for his second on the night. So 3 different goal scorers for Colorado right now. And I'm not sure we're going to get assists to that one. Working in his Keegan ball, and he gets it. Oh, he went up. Did a great job and just did the little under swing and was able to fool Dylan Ward.
And we talk about the patience Keegan Ball had on that 6-on-5 goal to end the first half, and you can see this play developing, and he just turns on the jets. And it was Kevin Crowley coming over to set a pick, and Brett Craig gave him a little shove, and it ended up running into Warren Jeffrey. So Keegan Ball just took it straight to the net and does one of his patented, it's a crease dive, but he's going vertical instead of horizontal, and was able to tuck it past Dylan Ward.
So that stops the Mammoth run for a moment. And Alex Stathakis, the rookie, comes up from the University of Denver, comes up with another face-off win. Gets it to Beers. Beers gets it to some of the offensive assistants there, and it ends up in the stick now of Ryan Martell. And Martell's going to work it back over to Ball. Ball's got 2 on the night. Of course, Owen Grant's already got the hat trick. Ball's looking to join him, although he'll pass the ball off there. There's another shot from Martell. That one's turned away, but he'll go and get the loose ball off his own missed shot. He was out there with Crowley. Now they go cross floor. Oh, there's a little work into Martell. He gets dumped for his efforts by Kuokin, and Colorado's going to bring it back up the floor again.
You can tell both teams, we talked about, that's an 8-second call there, unfortunate. Oh, we're gonna get a delay of game here. The officials did not think that Eli McLaughlin gave Ryan Dilks enough time to pick up the ball. Eli McLaughlin and Robert Hope not happy, having some words with the officials.
The officials talk. Dylan Ward's already out to midfield to talk about it as well.
Yeah, you got to put the ball down. We'll get the official call here.
Oh, he's hearing it. He's enjoying it. I don't know if he's enjoying it, but he's having a good laugh.
There is no foul. for delaying game because we're in a media break.
There we go. We're in the media break. That was great. So we'll take a break as well as the Colorado's fans voice their displeasure. Either way, we have a 7-3 game. Vancouver ahead. We'll come back with more third quarter action from Ball Arena.
The National Lacrosse League is on ESPN.
What a shot by Trey Leclerc.
A fresh season with fresh faces and storylines. It's a coast-to-coast clash.
Oh, what happened there? They score. What accuracy.
Rookie sensation Brennan O'Neill and the Philadelphia Wings soar into San Diego to take on Zach Currier and the Seals.
Score!
NLL Face-Off Weekend, Sunday, December 1st on ESPN2. This isn't just a game, it's a way of life. We eat, sleep, and breathe lacrosse. It demands respect from each player. If you want it, you need to work for it. You need to earn it. Every hit, every goal, every shift, every sacrifice, earn your next moment. This is the next major league.
And we welcome you back inside Ball Arena. 7-3 our score. Vancouver leads. Interesting play right before we took our time out there. Technically should have been a penalty, but Colorado saved by the bell, if you will, known as the media timeout, Jamie.
Yeah, and you can see here, Dilks picks up the ball. Eli McLaughlin has to give him enough room there, and that's a tricky one. Smart play by Dilks to just pick it up and run into McLaughlin. But technically that is delay a game, but the Mammoth got lucky because it's a dead ball going into a TV timeout.
And so to explain that,
possession.
when the ball hit the ground, action was done. Therefore, that run-in play never occurred because the clock stopped the minute. Nice steal that time for Colorado, as that's Jordan Gillis getting involved and getting the ball to safety, because when the ball hit the ground, we were going to take our timeout anyway. That's what kept that call from happening. Technically, the action after never occurred officially, like the government and the officially with the UFO, sorry. Jamie. Jamie's
sorry, focus on lacrosse right now. That's another conversation after the game.
Yeah, man, we don't have to worry about it. Keegan Ball has the ball. He's going to work it up top. Vancouver again trying to restore a 4-goal lead now. Actually, they have that, trying to get back to the 5-goal lead, which is what they had at the half. Colorado had a little bit of a run, and now a chance to run in transition, working it around, and a shot and score! Oh, Connor Kelly! I was mesmerized by what he was doing with the stick. I guess Aiden Walsh was too.
Well, it was an interesting transition. It wasn't quite an odd man situation, and Connor Kelly pumped the brakes a little bit there, and I think that fooled his defender, but because he kept his feet moving, he's such a good shooter on the run, and he shoots overhand, and he was able to put that past Aiden Walsh to put the Mammoth back within 3.
And congratulations to Connor Kelly. That's his 100th career goal tally in the National Lacrosse League. And Colorado's hoping he can pump in 100 more for their franchise. One of those signings that Colorado added last year, now with the return of Ryan Lee, you're really hoping that that right side, including Zed Williams, can really get going. Tim Edwards able to get that out and free for Jordan Gillis, and Mammoth trying to put another run together and climb back into this one. Zed Williams going in like a wrecking ball, kind of stopped himself. He's trying to muscle out the defender, finds Eli McLaughlin. Oh, good shot by Aiden Walsh. He saw that and slid. I really thought that McLaughlin had him beat there, and Walsh just reacted so quickly.
And that's been the key for the Mammoth offense in the second half so far, is they're coming out playing physical. We didn't see a lot of that in the first. And I think both teams here have stepped up their physicality on the offensive end.
Oh, they're trying to get that one out to Martell. Couldn't complete the pass. Robert Hope has it again. Robert Hope playing more transition than I feel like I remember in the past. Again, the Mammoth lose Joey Capito as he moved on. Fan favorite, great player for Colorado. Now they work it around. Thomas Villa had thrown it behind the net. Boy, we got some physical action between Connor Kelly and his defender. Now he's just going to knock it back in. He can't get the ground ball, so he's going to knock it back in, so at least the possession starts deeper in Vancouver territory, but it is Vancouver ball. Baby Shark plays here in the arena. There are some songs that you get sad when they disappear. I can't say I feel that way about Baby Shark.
I have 3 daughters, Andy, so
Yeah.
I could do without this song.
Oh,
but
I'm sure.
It gets the crowd fired up, and that's what it's all about.
That and the Macarena. There's a shot by Crowley, saved by Ward. And Colorado comes the other way. Dylan Ward trying not to stumble back into the net with it. Colorado sets its offense. Again, Will Malcolm with it. Colorado very excited about getting Will Malcolm back on their roster. He's been active tonight, but no goals yet in his new home. He's trying to change that right here as he drives to the net. He wanted to pass to Zed Williams. Now, that's actually Connor Kelly shoved into the net. Tyson Gibson with the nice snag. He tries to shoot. Ball's available. And the shot clock goes out without a reset. So again, Vancouver gets the ball. John Gallant between the benches, watching his body language a little bit. We'll go get a check in with John here in a second. Vancouver working it around. Had a nice night offensively. Oh, they tried to go to the backside, but the Mammoth had 3 players in the lane of that pass. There's a push, and it'll be Mammoth ball. John, is it heating up between the benches? It feels like the energy is picked up from up here.
Well, the fast start, very similar to the start of the game. Just the difference is Colorado's put the ball in the back of the net. Just a ride there, ill-advised pass. Vancouver's a little unsettled, the talking is going back and forth there. Vancouver a little unsettled right now. You can see him kind of slowing it down. Colorado offensively and then on the bench a little livelier than Vancouver is right now. Head coach Kirk Milowski really working with the offense to allow them to be a little bit more free-flowing here at the start of this third quarter. Not so structured. But you can see that positive start has got this crowd going. It is awfully loud down here, and it's starting to rattle Vancouver just a little bit.
Yeah, it is a great crowd. 10,245 for this first game at the Loud House. And considering it's Black Friday, the University of Colorado played a game, CSU played a game here in town. To have this many fans show up at the Loud House with so much college football going on, I think it's a real testament to the Mammoth and their presence here in the city. So Vancouver with another possession. Keegan ball that last time down. I thought Keegan had a good look at a shot, but Dylan Ward did a great job to square up to him, and that might have made Keegan Ball rethink his intentions. Cycling it around is Vancouver. It finds its way to Keegan Ball again. Now starting to back up, trying to work in, but keeping his eyes up the whole time, looking at his teammates. We get a timeout there on the shot clock violation, and we'll take a timeout here in the arena. Our final one of the third quarter. We have a 7-4 game, some back and forth action to start this second half. Come on back and see what the rest of the third quarter has in store from Denver. Don't miss any of the action this season. Head to NLL.com/tickets and get yourself front row seats to your favorite NLL team. All of the big hits, the highlight reel goals, and the star-studded matchups. That's NLL.com/tickets. Those front row seats have been paying off tonight for a lot of these folks. Plus the Mammoth have their party zone going again this year, which gets you right up in the action. across from the goals. That's always a fun place to sit if you're ever in Colorado. But again, got to take in all this NLL action. Watch the a tale of two goalies here tonight, but man, you look at those numbers, Jamie, and you know, Dylan Ward, I don't know if it's been like the tip top of his game, but you look at how many shots he's faced. And Colorado, as you said earlier, maybe not getting enough on Aiden Walsh.
Yeah, and I think it's the quality of shots as well that we've seen the Mammoth definitely improve that here in the second half. But in the first quarter, just seemed like they just weren't getting those high-quality shots that were inside, getting their hands free. Aiden Walsh has been seeing the ball very well, and we've all seen Dylan Ward. He's a second-half goaltender, especially in this building.
Yeah, Aiden Walsh having a very, very nice night, his first start for Vancouver this year. Colorado trying to work the ball around again, get the offense cranked up. There's another shot, and Aiden Walsh saw that all the way off his big thigh, or shin pad, I should say. Hops back out. Zed Williams retrieves it. Now he's doing battle, waiting for a pick, trying to decide if he wants to muscle in, and then he puts it up top to Kelly. Kelly with the fake, then he shoots from behind. There's another shot clock reset, although that ball squirts away from Zed Williams. The Mammoth had a chance to get a third opportunity in this possession, but could not corral the ball.
Well, it's amazing what happens when Zed Williams asserts himself. He's such a problem for defenses, and there he just went hard at his man, a hard underneath move, drew the double, and found Connor Kelly, but Aiden Walsh again makes a miraculous save there to keep the ball out of the net.
Vancouver was trying to get one of their cutters free, to be specific, Peshko. Jonathan Peshko was heading down the middle of the offensive set, but a great job from Colorado from just denying any passes. Dylan Ward saw that shot, makes another save. Now it's to Eli McLaughlin. You know he wants to get his first of the year. Now Eli looking around, trying to find a shooter and a cutter. Oh, that would have been in the crease anyway. Aiden Walsh made the save. None of it matters. And yet another broken stick out there from one of the defenders. Officials pick it up and clear the runway.
Vancouver's got away in the last two shifts there. You know, they are a cross-checking team. In the last two shifts, the previous one was Zed going for stick checks, and Colorado's been able to get to the net by using that deception. Vancouver's got to get back to just cross-checking inside.
Vancouver working the ball side to side, trying to free up another shooter. Great stick check that time. I believe the stick check came from Connor Cook, and it's going to lead to a ground ball and a pickup and a run for Will Malcolm. Brett Craig down there trying to get involved in the offensive action. Brett Craig had a little run of goals, even though he's a defenseman towards the end of last year for Colorado. I think he liked the way that felt. Malcolm works to the far right side. Went to Kelly into Zed. Zed gets it and scores again! Zed Williams getting pushed from behind, but it only helped the firepower on the shot.
The Mammoth are definitely not going away, guys. They're making a game of this. And again, I just mentioned it, when Zed asserts himself, he's so dangerous. And how he got his hands free there was Ryan Lee was getting banged on in the middle, and he came and just set that subtle pick. And that was all it took for Zed Williams to turn the corner and beat Aiden Walsh. You can see right there on Cornwall. And Zed, with the presence of mind to just turn the corner, and he buries it high on Aiden Walsh.
So 7-5 the score now. Closest Colorado's been since early in the second quarter. Illegal procedure that time on Stathakis, and that's going to give the ball to Colorado. So both Edwards and Stathakis have been guilty of illegal procedures tonight. Otherwise, really good battles at the faceoff dot. Tyson Gibson has it now for Colorado. Again, getting it down to Eli McLaughlin. He gets a pick. He looks through the screen, trying to sneak it in. Walsh closes the wickets just in time to save that one. And Vancouver back out in transition with Ryan Dilks.
You can see last two Vancouver goals have been to Walsh's right-hand side. They've kind of gotten away from shooting 5-hole, right? But the righty's putting it right by his right glove. In the last two, that's something Coach Bishop was preaching in that last time out, right? To change up the shot locations. Let's see if they keep attacking that right hand right on the hip as they move forward here.
Peshko with a rocket shot off Dylan Ward. Ward looks okay, but that one had some mustard on it. relish too. McLaughlin trying to work it around, gets it back to Ryan Lee. McLaughlin shoots, but that gets knocked to the corner. And again, taking it the other way will be Vancouver. Kirkness with it. Now he hands it off. He got it there to Clarish, who got our scoring started tonight, was Marcus Clarish. Keegan Ball with it. Keegan's been phenomenal for Vancouver. Now he works in. Great job though. Owen down, hits the stick, knocks that shot wide from Keegan Ball, and Tim Edwards comes up with it, comes up floor. They're running in transition. Mammoth has numbers. Edwards shoots, Charlotte Beatties knocks it down. Now Vancouver's on the run. They got a quick sub, but Colorado has the defensive match out there. So Charlotte Beatties is just gonna go ahead and hold up, hand it off, and they'll run more of a set play. Crowley with it. Crowley shoots, trying to fool Dylan Ward. He was ready, even though that got by him. That one goes wide into the crowd. It's Colorado ball. 40 seconds left to go here. With Colorado down 2 goals. Do they try to go? Well, Malcolm, he shoots. That bounces off a couple of players, finds its way to a Mammoth player. I think that's Connor Kelly with it. I think he was thinking about a dunk attempt. Shot clock reset, so now timeout by Pat Coyle. Colorado has a situation, I believe, where we've got 26 in the game, 25 on the shot clock. So Colorado can basically hold almost till the end of the quarter. With just that almost 2-second difference, Dylan will go back in the net though, right, Jamie? Or what do you think they do here?
No, I think they're gonna pull and they'll hold for last shot. But Johnny, what do you think? Is kind of interesting that they're calling this timeout now in the 3rd quarter. You know, was it just a factor that they wanted to hold the ball and make sure that they had possession?
All right, we're going to read this. We'll get John in just a second. The NLL is on ESPN. Rookie sensation Brennan O'Neill and the Wings soaring to San Diego to take on Zach Currier and the Seals. It's Wings versus Seals, December 1st on ESPN2. Johnny listening in on both huddles. I think they're more interesting than we are, Jamie. I think that's part of what's going on.
Oh, 1000%.
Have you ever wanted to be between the benches? I like having you up here, yeah? Oh, that's right. You used to do that with us. I forgot.
That's all I got. That's all I got in the mix here.
Does it ever get your blood going again? What gets you more? What makes you miss it more? I gotta imagine it's being down there, right?
Well, yeah, 100%. Being in the locker room, just battling with the boys, and just the intensity and the passion that everybody has for this game and the competitive nature is so fun to see and be a part of. It's something you never lose. So when you're around it, when you're washed up like me, it definitely brings back a lot of feelings.
Look, you're undefeated over there in the bar. They get together and at the end. There's a shot. Dylan Ward was about ready to leave. They did not get the reset. Dylan's going to stay out there. So we got 13 on the shot clock, and about. Well, now we're at 8 and 11. We've got about a 3-second difference here all of a sudden. So Vancouver is going to pick up that ball. Eli McLaughlin's back. Dylan's in net. Another pursuer, and McLaughlin knocks the ball down. That comes right to Beers. Beers takes a shot, and that's turned away. 2 shots, neither one of them found Dylan Ward, and mainly offensive players out there for Colorado. So quite the exciting end of things. We'll take another look at this block on our way back, but right here, and Jordan Gillis jumps up, takes it off the glove, soaking a shot, as Jamie would say. And we've got a 2-goal game, looking for an exciting 4th quarter ahead here at Ball Arena. Of course, it's opening night on Black Friday. Colorado and Vancouver happy to get this thing up and going. It's 7-5. Come back and watch the finish with us here in Denver. And we welcome you back to Ball Arena. It's been a great opening night of action here in Colorado. The NLL is always exciting to watch. You see our scoring by quarters there, Jamie. Colorado trying to get some things figured out. And it looks like they did offensively when you look at it in that third quarter of 4 goals. Really a good quarter for them.
Yeah, and as a coach, you want to, you always talk to your team about segments in the game. First 5 minutes, let's win the quarter, right? But that's exactly what the Mammoth needed. They did not have the first half that they wanted. You can call it the first game jitters kind of thing, but you can tell they've definitely picked up their intensity and the physicality on both sides of the floor. And Dylan Ward's best quarters in the cross are in the fourth quarter, so it'll be interesting to see how the Mammoth offense can maintain this momentum leading into the fourth.
Well, and they also, Vancouver, I thought, got some good shots after having 3 goals apiece in the first 2 quarters, but they were getting knocked down by the Mammoth. Brett Craig digging out a loose ball. Colorado, Jordan Gillis is going to grab it and make sure he restores order. John, I'm curious, John Gallant between the benches, former Mammoth captain, as Connor Kelly's going to work it over to McLaughlin. He takes a big shot. That goes off the goalie and into the net, so Colorado retains possession with a reset on the shot clock. John, do teams not like coming to altitude for the first game of the year? There's a wide open pass to Zed Williams, and he is going to get the goal. Connor Kelly looked like he was going to shoot and then found his buddy, and that is a hat trick for Zed Williams.
And that's the Zed Williams that we are so used to seeing. That is where he does the majority of his damage. It looks like just a little miscommunication there. The Vancouver Warriors getting set on defense. Yeah, and you can see whoever was covering Zed. I couldn't see the player there, but ran into his own player, and that's how Zed Williams ended up wide open.
And Eli McLaughlin gets the second assist, which means he's now passed John Grant Jr. for 3rd most assists in franchise history. Next up, the legendary Gary Gates. So congratulations to Eli McLaughlin. He and Connor Kelly doing some work with Zed getting wide open. And Colorado has pulled within a goal for the first time since the first quarter. And there's a big ground ball and swing dodge, I guess you'd say, by Kerokin. He just took that stick and took it right over the head. And Colorado trying to pull even here in the fourth quarter. I still want to get some thoughts from John Gallant. There's a shot by Kelly. That one again seen by Aiden Walsh. Aiden Walsh has been good up to this point, but Colorado's starting to solve him a little bit. Now a loose ball battle comes up Vancouver, and now they're going to pull it off. That's Owen Grant, who's got a hat trick, doing a lot of his work on defense and loose balls tonight. John, what is it when you got to play the first goal, though, here at altitude? Can we see it start to affect Vancouver?
I don't know if it affects them as much as the crowd does affect them, right? Because this is a game of momentum, right? And you can see Vancouver was able to get through some of the momentum in the first quarter kind of unscathed, and they obviously built up to a big lead. But Colorado has scored on those same chances they had early, and now this crowd is into it. And that's bigger than the altitude, is the momentum change, and then it's the confidence Colorado has. And then the self-doubt that you start having as a visiting team.
Hey, credit Ryan Lee. Of course, Zed Williams getting free to charge at the goal and try to dunk it. Ryan Lee threw a huge pick that gave him the lane to go there, and there's still a loose ball battle. And now we're going to have a call against Vancouver, which will give the ball to Colorado.
And this is where the crowd comes in, because they're playing faster now. They rode Vancouver, got the ball back, and now you got to play defense again in a long change. That's a big turnover.
Oh, but there's a chance to get it back all of a sudden. That's Owen Ron who's trying to come up with the ball. New to Colorado, he's another guy trying to help. And that's going to be Colorado's ball. Kerokin wants it.
They call and delay a game here, similar to what we saw earlier. Did not give the Mammoth enough time to pick up the ball.
Yeah, that's going to be Subak, Jackson Subak, who's going to have to go to the box.
Vancouver probably 2 minutes delay game.
So he did not give up the ball quickly, right? That was the problem there?
You got to put the ball straight down, and you can't impede the player's progress who picks it up. Or the officials are ready to blow the whistle right away. And that's a great call by the officials.
Colorado 1 for 3, if I remember right, on their power plays tonight, trying to get their second goal. Give it up, there's a goal, never mind. They're now 2 for 2. And Connor Kelly has yet another power play goal for Colorado.
It's amazing what a little bit of extra energy does. And the Mammoth are capitalizing and executing on their chances. Aiden Walsh just not quite set on that goal. Has the ball movement, and Connor Kelly again, he's got such a smooth shot, you guys. Straight overhand. He likes to shoot high. On that one, he pulled it low, short side on Aiden Walsh. And Connor Kelly is feeling it in this run. We got a tie game.
We got a tie game, and I think that's number 101 for Connor Kelly, if I remember right. Stathakis loses his helmet off the face-off. Vancouver with the shiny chrome golden helmets here tonight. Now we have the officials getting together to see what they want to call on this. Stathakis came out, and the helmet came off right away.
They're looking at
Johnny, you're right there. What are you seeing?
Yeah, they're asking, does Staff get a penalty because he plays the ball with no helmet?
That's a tough one, especially when you have the ball in your stick already. Not sure.
So Stathakis, they're talking about him getting a penalty as well because he played the ball with no helmet on. Right, well, picked it up after it got knocked off.
Don't lip read right now. Johnny can't see the monitor. But Kurt Malosky's message to somebody out there, which I think was maybe the official, is pretty, yeah, I see it. Look, Kurt Malosky's message is clear. Don't lip read the monitor, kids.
Penalty on the play. Colorado penalty, 2 minutes, slashing. Vancouver penalty, 2 minutes, delay in game for playing without a helmet. We're gonna play 4-on-4.
So I'm curious, was the slash what took the helmet off, Jamie? Could you tell? We got a great replay there. Edwards came over the top, and as he swung his stick, that's how the helmet came free. Johnny, did you see it that way? Do you know where the slash came in?
Yes, that slash dislodged the helmet, and then Alec picked up the ball without the helmet on. Then he gets the penalty as well. And because his was second, Colorado then starts with the ball.
Okay, thank you for the explanation. Ted Williams works in. Oh, he's not going to sneak it through that time. Aiden Walsh able to sit down, but it looked dangerous there. We got 4-on-4 action, so both face-off combatants get a penalty, and it'll open up the floor for these two offenses right now. Colorado with their first crack at it. Now Vancouver gets theirs. So matching 2-minute minors. Don't have the penalty time on the scoreboard just yet. Working it around, there's Crowley with the shot. That's going to go wide, hits the net, and it's going to be Colorado ball. Crowley thought it hit one of the Mammoth players. The officials disagreed. Warren Jeffrey picks it up, gets it over to Hope. Hope up to Ryan Lee. Colorado's going to get 4 of their shooters on. That's Tyson Gibson with it right now. As everybody sets up, Colorado tries to work a play. Colorado getting physical in the middle. Thomas Vela really doing work. Ian Gibson with a little 2-man game. Ryan Lee got shoved in the crease. He clears. Oh, a twister from Gibson. Rebound up for grabs, and that's going to be snagged that time by Lady.
Ryan Lee may not be getting the looks and the shots on net that we're used to him seeing, but the work he is doing off ball and the unselfishness playing in this offense, getting guys open, setting hard picks, he's getting inside and out. He's creating a lot of these opportunities. Kind of the unsung hero for the Mammoth tonight so far.
Robert Hope really on Keegan Ball a lot this third quarter, and Keegan Ball's been quiet because of it. After a great first half for Keegan Ball. There's a dunk attempt. Dylan goes back. They're going to say no, and I don't know that that went anyway. The way they're snagging it was on the outside of the net. Shot clock violation, I believe, was what was going to give the Mammoth the ball anyway. 7-7 the score. A lot of fun here in Denver on this first night of NLL action. Over 10,000 fans, and Connor Kelly goes to the rack and scores! Gonna say over 10,000 fans came here tonight to celebrate the opening night of the NLL, and they're being rewarded with the Mammoth taking their first lead of the game. The Mammoth fell behind 3-0 quick to start the game in the first quarter. This is the first time they've led on the home floor.
And Connor Kelly just catching his defender, Tyson Kirkness, off this pass. It looks like they're communicating, and then all of a sudden, that is way too much room underneath to give a player like Connor Kelly, and just takes it hard to the far pipe and tucks it home for his 4th of the game.
Assist to Will Malcolm and Jordan Gillis. So Will Malcolm again having an effect with his new team, even though he's not gotten a goal in the net yet. And now we've got some fighting. Warren Jeffrey, the man they call Moose, is in the middle of that. No big surprise. Sean Wilkins over there too. And we're in our break zone. First break of the fourth quarter, and the first break where the Mammoth have the lead for this game. 8-7 is our score. A lot of up and down action. The Mammoth has found its offense here in the second quarter, or fourth quarter. Come back for more.
National Lacrosse League is on ESPN. A fresh season with fresh faces and storylines. Coast-to-coast clash. Rookie sensation Brennan O'Neill and the Philadelphia Wings soar into San Diego to take on Zach Taylor and the Seals. NLL Face-Off Weekend, Sunday, December 1st on ESPN2. This isn't just a game, it's a way of life. We eat, sleep, and breathe lacrosse. It demands respect from each player. If you want it, you need to work for it. You need to earn it. Every hit, every goal, every shift, every sacrifice, earn your next moment. This is the next major league.
Welcome back to Ball Arena here in Denver, Colorado. Heck of a fourth quarter, heck of a second half for the Mammoth. 8-7 the lead. Let's take a look at our assist of the game, brought to you by Eero. And this is the assist from Eli, the second assist on that goal right there that had him past the legend, John Grant Jr. in assist. Now, Eli McLaughlin, third all-time in assists for Colorado. He'll be second all-time with 18 more. If he can get up there, it'll be... He's closing in on Gary Gates, so a lot of great names there that Eli's starting to pass again as he passed the great John Grant Jr. Back to action with Colorado. They've scored 5 in a row and 7 in the second half to now take the lead. And Colorado now doing work, not letting Vancouver leave their area easily. Will Malcolm has a defender without a stick. He's making Beers chase him around. I don't think he wanted to give it up. He gave it up finally to Kelly. Beers sticks on the opposite side. He's still playing without it, but the shot clock's going to run down before the Mammoth can take advantage. Vancouver had a heck of a first half offensively. Haven't been able to find that same magic here. Although one shot could change everything, and that almost was it as it ricocheted wide. Vancouver's going to get a reset of the shot clock and another chance on this possession. Sean Beatty's with it. He's got a couple goals in this game, but now he gets tied up. Keegan Ball was close to a hat trick. But Colorado all of a sudden has a 4-goal night from Connor Kelly and a hat trick from Zed Williams to lead their offensive output. Thomas Vella with the other goal for Colorado. He got it started. Jordan Gillis is out on the run. He's got a backside cutter. Quick reaction that time from Lady to turn around and pick up Eli McLaughlin, who was going to be on the backside for Gillis, trying to make himself available. Ryan Lee with it. Trying to find his teammates. McLaughlin takes the big shot. Lee's going to retrieve. Nope. He had that over-the-shoulder catch. Now he's fighting for the ground ball. That's Tyson Gibson. He comes up with it. Gibson takes a shot, and again, swallowed up by Aiden Walsh. Vancouver trying to restore order inside their offensive sets. Colorado fans out defensively. Again, as Jamie and John Glenn have told you, trying to keep everything to the outside, so their goalie can see it. There's Keegan Ball. That's another big shot saved by Dylan Ward. Can't corral the rebound though, but the loose ball comes up Colorado, and up floor they go. That's Brett Craig with it. For a second he was running like Robert Hope, but it's 13, not 18. And Connor Kelly, who's been on a heater this second half, is looking to add to his total. That's Will Malcolm with it. He's had some assists tonight for Colorado. You know he'd love, though, to get a goal with his new team. There's a shot, goes off a couple of Vancouver defenders. There's a loose ball to be had. That gets held up. Now they're just going to throw it back into the possession, and that's going to go out of bounds. So they're trying to get it in the lower corner, but Vancouver gets the ball and they head up floor. Beers brings it up. He's going to pass it the ball. Ball takes a look at what his offensive teammates have set up. There's Sharon Beatties. Back to Ball. Ball back to Sharon Beatties. A little two-man game. He tries to spin around. Great stick work. Decides to go overhand, and it's got, I think that was worn by one of the Mammoth defenders. Yeah, that's Owen Ron with it. And Ron was limping a little bit after wearing that shot on the ankle.
Great defensive shift there by Colorado. Vancouver is not going away. Down by one. They're setting great picks off ball there, but the Mammoth are doing a great job getting out on the sticks and not allowing clean shots to get through to Dylan Ward.
Connor Kelly starting to work it around. Now he shoots. That goes off the big logo of Walsh. Oh, there's a collision in front. That's going to lead to the Mammoth getting the ball back and a reset of the shot clock. The Mammoth have their first lead of the night. It's a precious one-goal lead. They're trying to add to it, and another broken Vancouver defender stick gets tossed to the sideline. Doing a lot of work is Thomas Vella. Now they'll get it up top, and it finds its way to Zed Williams. Zed Williams trying to match Connor Kelly with 4 goals on the night. That one off the top pipe corner. He had the look, but the pipe snuck in there and saved the day. Both goalies have been helped out by the plumbing tonight.
So third possession here for Colorado. This Vancouver defense is tired.
Colorado working it around now. Good crisscross action. Ryan Lee. All of us that know Ryan Lee would love to see him get one in his return to Colorado. He's worked so hard to get here. Connor Kelly trying to take a shot there. That'll go wide. And as John told you, you can see a lot of really tired Vancouver defenders. Matter of fact, they don't want to have to go get the ball. That was Lady that was just too worn out to go and grab it. And Vancouver will get the subs they desperately needed.
And Owen Ron with another offensive shift there. Like John said, catch the Vancouver Warriors tired off a second, third possession, but Owen Ron is the type of guy that can play in the back end and the front end, and this Mammoth coaching staff loves to have that luxury of this young player from Orangeville.
Connor Cook getting physical and got the crowd reaction to it. Keegan Ball running across that top of the crease. He's dangerous there, unable to scoop that pass was Cormier, the rookie, and it's going to go over the midfield stripe, and it'll be Colorado ball, and we'll take our final time out of this game. Assuming we don't play any free lacrosse, that's going into overtime. We're going to take our final break. We got a one-goal game. Come back and join us for the finish of this one. Great opening night of NLL action. And we welcome you back to Ball Arena. The Colorado Mammoth have enjoyed a great second half in scoring, but Dylan Ward, you talked about him being a second half goalie, Jamie. Let's look at some of these saves proving your point.
Yeah, the Mammoth are just doing a great job letting him see the ball, but you can see the confidence coming through with his movements, especially right there, to get that arm down. It always looks like that right glove of Dylan Ward is open to shoot under. With that 6'5" frame, somehow he gets that glove down. So I feel like he's almost baiting them into that as well. But, great job by Dylan Ward.
And it's important on the graphic you talked about, Jamie. You want to be over 800. Tonight, off to a good start, 821 so far. Just one game, but you said the good goalies get above that 800 percentage. You see the last couple of years that it's slipped. He's off to a great start tonight.
Yeah, and we talk about confidence as offensive players, getting that first goal, getting the confidence and momentum going. It's even more important for a goaltender, I believe, too, because you're the most scrutinized position in sports, in my mind. You lose a game, you blame the goalie. You're kind of the scapegoat, and that's something that Dylan Ward, when he gets going and he plays like he is now, the rest of the team goes with him.
Zed Williams working his way in. That did not catch anything Vancouver related, so the shot clock remains the same. Now at 8. Connor Kelly's going to get it down. Zed's thinking about it again. Oh, he looked like he might have had a lane, but not to be. And that's going to end up being Vancouver ball as that finds the Mammoth bench.
And they're looking, the righties on the Colorado Mammoth, they're looking for that screen shot. Shoot over defenders to that far high post. And Zed unfortunately just missed the net here. Big possession for Vancouver right now. You know that head coach Kurt Malosky definitely had some words and made some adjustments that last TV timeout. Watch for the Vancouver Warriors to go hard to the cage here.
Keegan Ball doing a nice job of snagging that ball, but then stepping in the crease. Colorado off to the races. Big pass up to Tim Edwards. He goes backside. Oh, it's off the pipe again. Eli McLaughlin was in his bag of tricks, but he found the opposite pipe. There's another swallow save there by Dylan Ward, and he's going to get out and transition one more time. Again, working it up this time to Ron. Ron working in. Now he finds the middle pass. Shot. Goal for Thomas Vela, number 2. He got lit up, but it doesn't matter when you score the goal.
And that's that toughness that you need as an offense. And the Mammoth, they don't have a lot of huge guys up front. Maybe Zed is it there, and that's the kind of toughness. You just know you got to pay the price. Coming off the bench, great job by rookie Owen Ron getting his first NLL point in a transition play, and the boys are fired up. The fans are fired up. And, we talk about the shot discrepancy at the first half. Well, now the Mammoth are ahead. It just goes to show you that they've been valuing the ball and they're executing on their opportunities.
Look, you're talking about being tough and playing physical, and I got to ask John Gallant. John, as a defensive guy, usually you're there with some of the bigger players. When you see one of your smaller forwards take the hit that Vela just took to score a goal, I got to imagine that juices guys up.
Absolutely, and it started on the defensive end, right? Dylan Ward makes a stick save, the ball's up and out, and that speed, it does. It gets a team going, gets this crowd going, and now down 2, right, with 3 minutes left, Vancouver's in a world of trouble right here.
Well, Colorado had the transition working again, but some trouble with the loose ball, though. It's going to come up. As Will Malcolm had it, he tried to dump it over the line, but they couldn't beat the 8-second clock, so it remains Vancouver's ball. Clarich with it down there now. He started the scoring tonight. We haven't really seen much from him since. There's another shot swallowed up. That's Ryan Martell taking yet another chance at beating Dylan Ward, not to be that time.
When do you think you start pulling the goalie here to bring out the 6th offensive player for Vancouver?
Well, that's the thing, right? Down by 2, you could call a timeout maybe and get a good look 5-on-5, and then talk about what you would do 6-on-5. But definitely, if not this possession, the next possession.
Oh, that was a shot to ricochet from Will Malcolm over to Tyson Gibson. How many sticks did we see broken today? What is going on with all the broken sticks? That time that was a Mammoth stick. And as you guys just called it, Aiden Walsh heads to the bench for Vancouver with the 6th attacker. So Vancouver trying to work the extra man. Keegan Ball with a shot. One looked like it went high. Dylan went low. I'm not sure he totally saw it. There's an open net. Ron tried to pick it up, but Walsh did a good job of running and getting back. They got it over the timeline. Edwards goes to help out the rookie, the young player, Ron, and now Connor Kelly running around. He's going to fire far side to the bench, and Colorado's going to look to kill some time with a 2-goal lead. 9 on the clock, 1:22 left to go in the game. Connor Kelly's sneaky.
Colorado's doing a smart thing, getting their defense out early. The offense left early so they can get the defense out early.
Yeah, Colorado's only worried about the clock going tick, tick, tick right now. So we're coming up on a minute to play in the fourth quarter. Vancouver needs 2 just to get to overtime. Charlene Beatties has a couple of goals. He shot high, though. Oh, the great snag on the rebound, and that goes wide. In Colorado, there's Jordan Gillis. He's going to beat Walsh and get the open net. That'll make it a 3-goal lead. 10th tally on the night for Colorado. And a tough fourth quarter for Vancouver continues. Vancouver's had 1 goal in the second half alone and none in the fourth quarter.
Well, it's amazing the transition, you know, from first half to second half for both of these teams. You know, Colorado just turned up the energy. They're executing, and Jordan Gillis with a nice point to the crowd there. And that is going to seal this game.
Well, they're taking a look at something. I'm not quite sure what the replay is for, but we have our head official in there. It's not going to be for in the crease, that's for sure. I don't know what else they could be looking at. Whatever they've looked at, they've got it figured out. Maybe they're just checking the time on the clock. Let's see.
The call on the field confirmed we have a good goal.
I guess they were checking to see if he stepped in the crease. That didn't even look close, but yeah. It was ordered from the league within 2 minutes there, so they've got the confirmation they need. It's 10-7. And now Colorado's looking to run down this last 48 seconds. You talk about a tale of 2 halves. 7 straight goals for Colorado to build a 3-goal lead.
Well, again, even on that last 6-on-5 for Vancouver, the shots are just not getting through. And they are getting their hands free. Keegan Ball reached around his defender, missed the net. They're just not getting the looks that they did in the first half.
And Vancouver has a lot of passes not finding sticks the way they did in the first half either. Owen down, trying to knock that out. Jalen Chaster doing battle with Crowley. And we've got a push on Vancouver. That'll give Colorado the ball. 20 seconds left to go. Colorado's going to work it around now. They get it to Dylan Ward out of his crease. Ward's going to throw it. He's going for the goalie goal. Oh, that's going to be wide. So Vancouver's going to take a timeout. 9.7 seconds left to go. I guess I'll just ask you, some may ask why do that with the game out of reach, but it's the first game of the season. I'm sure Miloski wants to work on some things in game conditions.
Yeah, and I'll never question a decision Kurt Miloski makes, but, you know.
Vancouver has a legal substitution with insufficient time left in the game. We're going to have a penalty shot.
All right.
Interesting.
I thought we had a timeout. Instead, it's an illegal substitution and a penalty shot. So now it looks like Eli McLaughlin's out there. No, Connor Kelly going for goal 5 on the night.
I know he's got the hot hand, but it would have been fun to see Ryan
Here
Lee.
we go. Here we go.
Oh, we got to fight. We got to fight at the benches.
There you go, Johnny. Some action.
We're setting up for a
buddy.
penalty shot, and we've got, if Johnny was in the middle of it, Subak's in there, throwing with Gillies. I don't know Hope's in there. Now Hope and Beers go together. Zed doesn't like that. Zed's taking Beers out of the mix. One of the other comebacks is Dilks, and you can see Zed Williams is putting it into this thing, and he's trying to, Subak's trying to fight. I think that's big one Jeffrey. Jeffrey and Subak are going. Now they pulled Zed off of Beers. Hope is still chatting with his combatants. Hope and Kirkness are having a discussion.
Well, and Subak's been one of the guys that's been very active in the chirping going on all game. No surprise to see him get in the mix. But Johnny, can you breathe down there? Are you safe?
Yeah, it's, you know, it's It's going back and forth still. Zubak there was, as you said earlier, Jamie, kind of talking back and forth. He kept talking there, and then he hit Dylan Ward. Right?
We might need the mute button, Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny, come on. We're going to take it back from you. We'll get your assessment after the game. We got Molosky yelling at a number of guys, including Dylan Ward. He's not happy with anybody. Now he's also yelling at the refs, but I see he's yelling at somebody on the Mammoth bench. We'll have to get
It's Dylan Ward.
Yeah, well, Molosky's not happy. Ward's yelling back at him. John's in the middle of it. Robert Hope's bleeding from the nose. But Zed Williams absolutely slammed Beers to the ground because he got tired of Beers not disengaging with everybody.
And we can see how it starts here. It was definitely Subak and Matt Beers standing back there.
Yeah, Subak's got the jersey over the head there as we're watching a lot of the replays here.
And you got Owen Ron, the rookie, on there taking a few, and Zed Williams says, I'm going to grab a guy, and next thing you know, Subak and Warren Jeffrey are dancing.
Well, basically Zed had Beers pinned. Beers wanted him off. Zed basically let him know no way with the fight going on.
Yeah, and
we still have a penalty shot that needs to occur.
The official that tried to break it up there lost his helmet. Safe for him to get out of there and let the boys go.
So everybody's having a chat. Kurt Molosky is still at the end of his bench. I don't know if he's trying to yell at Pat Coyle. He's still looking over at half the Mammoth bench, wanting to have a chat with somebody.
He's yelling at Dylan Ward here. It started there earlier in the game, as we talked about, and the talking going back and forth, but Zubak there then hit Dylan Ward, and that's what brought everybody else back in here.
All right, these on play as follows. Colorado, number 28, has 5 minutes for roughing. Vancouver, number 2, has 5 minutes for roughing. These are going to cancel. Vancouver, number 37, has a conduct for leaving the bench to start an altercation. He also has 5 minutes for fighting, 2 minutes for instigating, and an additional game misconduct. He also gets an additional game misconduct for fighting under the last 5 minutes of the game.
Wow. That's a whole lot of penalty minutes, so Subak is off to the dressing room. He doesn't seem to be too upset about it. I guess now the question will be, will this put in question his availability for the next game for Vancouver, which will be against the Rochester Nighthawks coming up on December 13th. So that was a whole lot of penalty time. Again, Beers got involved. Zed didn't like it. Zed pinned Beers, and that's what led to the matching 5 minutes. Now we've got on camera, Molosky is still yelling, and he's still yelling at Dylan Ward, who's at the back of the bench.
Vancouver's in-home is going to serve 7 minutes. Also still going to have the penalty shot that we were in the progress of conducting.
And well done by the officials to sort that up. And I think they got the calls right there on both sides. And there's still, now Pat Coyle's getting involved.
Yeah, Pat's had enough of Molosky yelling at Dylan Ward. Because Dylan Ward's at the back of the bench. When Colorado returns a goalie into action, it's going to be Nathan Whittam, who's going to make his first appearance here in a Colorado uniform. Tyler Carlson was their backup goalie forever. Everybody loved TC here in Colorado. He has since moved on. And so you see the completely white, that's how you know it's new. He doesn't even have it painted yet. Nathan Whittam is getting ready to go in at goalie number 29 when this is all done. Meanwhile, they changed it up to Ryan Lee, and he does score. You called it, Jamie.
That's what I was trying to say before all the melee happened. Why not give Ryan Lee the penalty shot? And you can see the boys, every single one of the players is going over to congratulate Ryan Lee. I mentioned it earlier, he's not getting the looks. He didn't score all the goals that we're used to him seeing, but what hustle, and for his first game to do all the little things to contribute to this Mammoth offense, and great job by Ryan Lee getting on the board on a penalty shot.
They're having some fun with him on the bench. You can see it right there. Eli McLaughlin putting the stick in. Congrats to Ryan Lee on what has been a long road back. Didn't see Ryan Lee all last year. Colorado definitely missed him. And now Ron gives a shot to Stathakis. I didn't know Stathakis was upset, but we're gonna run out these last 3 seconds. And we still have some more action going on.
He
may
called
not
the
be
timeout
done.
here.
Peshko was starting to get involved with Craig. And the refs are trying to make sure that we've had our last, what was it, 2 weeks ago we had the Jake Paul fight with Tyson. I think we want to be done with that, right?
Hey, Friday night fights apparently. But hey, you've got to love.
Brett Craig gave Peshko a big shove.
Yeah, you got to love the passion on both sides, especially Vancouver, who looked so good in that first half, and then it all just crumbled for them. You know, not the second half they wanted, but you got to love this emotion and this passion and this fire that they have, standing up for their guys. And Kurt Malosky again calling a timeout. I think there'll be a couple more seconds added to the clock.
Well, we went to the unified schedule last year, right? And so we were worried with some of the, as exciting, look, it's great. I don't want to say worried because it's great for the fans to see all the teams in the league, see all the stars in the league, have everybody pass through. I think that's fantastic. But there are some nasty rivalries like Colorado-San Diego, Colorado-Calgary, Calgary-San Diego, and now Vancouver's in the mix. And frankly, Kurt Malosky was with Calgary for so long. I think you bring some of that fire now over to Vancouver. So there's the shot. I don't believe that one's going to count. Colorado certainly isn't worried about it, and we may have the most interesting handshake line of the season now as Vancouver heads to their benches. I know it's tradition, though, and I know you've got to show a maturity as a professional athlete, but with all the heated temperature this building's experienced the last 30 seconds of gameplay anyway, and 5 minutes of actual time, this feels like a night where maybe we just say, hey, we'll shake hands next time.
You would think so, but again, that's one great things about our game is that they do shake hands after, and I wouldn't expect nothing but class from both these teams.
Well, Dylan Ward and Kurt Malosky are going to be an interesting handshake, but we'll wait and see how this goes. We've got the handshake line on camera. Dylan Ward, a fantastic second half. He only gave up 1 goal to a Vancouver offense that was absolutely cooking in the first half. And give a credit to Aiden Walsh. I know it didn't end the way he wanted to, but he came out. You were talking about how he was trying to build on some things last year. Felt like he was doing that at least in that first half. Now I watched Dylan Ward go through, and this is mainly the main thing I want to watch. He's starting to make his way through the players there, as you can see on camera. And he's going to give a couple quick handshakes, and we'll see how this one goes. They do shake hands, and they don't share any more words. Now we'll see what Coyle and Malosky had to say. There is a little slap on the back, although now Malosky's kind of walking around. I don't know who he's looking for.
They're going to go shake the officials' hands.
Okay, well, there we go. John Gallant's going to go ahead and get us any one of what could be 1,000 players of the game from the Colorado side. Stathakis and Ward exchange some pleasantries there. Could be Connor Kelly, could be Zed Williams, could be Ryan Lee, who made his return tonight, could be the big dog Dylan Ward. We'll wait and we'll see. But what a great opening night of lacrosse. It's why you got over 10,000 fans in the building. Despite the fact that you had both major college football teams playing in town today, over 10,000 fans showed up for some Black Friday lacrosse. I just think that tells you what it means. So a couple final words between Malosky and Coyle. I think you had told us that they coached together on Team Canada internationally a little bit at times, Jamie?
Yeah, they played together, they've coached together, they're legends of the game. You know, John said earlier, Hall of Fame style coaches, and you know, utmost respect. They're obviously solving their differences right now.
So it does look like we've got John Gallant getting ready to talk with Dylan Ward. Nope, John's still waiting down there. Let's go down to John Gallant with our player of the game.